And so I'm covered in mud, and I have to like go in and present covered in mud.
Wait, what?
I fell in a creek.
JACKPOCKET. It's the #1 lottery app on your iPhone.
JACKPOCKET.
Right now, Powerball is at $28 million. All you got to do is open up the app on your phone. You can pick your numbers either at random or you can pick your numbers. We've been trying to do it here at the KFC Radio team. We've all failed so far.
Yeah.
None of you have won Powerball.
I honestly thought I did. I was like, when I put those numbers, when I put those in, I was like, man, now I just sit back and wait. I'm about to be rich, dude.
We got a drawing tonight again. All right, everybody pick a number. Okay.
22.
Ready? 22.
Hey.
5.
I was going to pick 5.
Oh, no, there's no more numbers left.
17.
17.
That's what was in my head.
Oh, my God.
17. I'm going to go with 47. And then we'll go with a good old round 25. And then the Powerball number. Jackie, manifest it. 1 to 26.
36.
No.
I just said 1 to 26.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. 7. Were you good?
Yeah. That's why I was going to say 17 earlier. I was on 7s.
All right, that's good. That's good. These are good numbers. All right, check out. All you gotta do is hit place order. That's it. You got your ticket.
Right, now we
as
wait.
Easy as that.
Now we wait.
Over $540 million in prizes have already been paid out to lucky winners. So you can get Powerball, Mega Millions, official state lottery games right on the app. New customers use code KFC and you'll get your first ticket for free. Download the JACKPOCKET app today and use code KFC. JACKPOCKET, America's #1 lottery app and official partner of Barstool Sports. All right, good to go?
Good to go, yeah.
All right, it's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We've got a full roster today. Nick's in the building.
Thank you for having me.
Jackie was going to try to slither out of this and not. Jackie's trying to
Why
not
are
be
you?
on the show.
You're funny and good on camera. Why are you so reluctant?
That's so nice. Thanks. I don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it.
Yeah, but that's pretty
That's
normal.
fine.
We
Yeah,
all-
cool.
yeah.
Honestly, if you believed it, you'd suck as a person.
That is also
No,
true.
but like I
The
could
people
just,
who believe it and know it suck.
I could use, but once those affirmations set in,
Jackie like goes to sleep.
Wait, are you going to become a monster?
what do you
Are you going to like
Oh yeah,
convince yourself?
I hope, you know how it's like Riff Raff does it, like I hope I blow up and like act like I don't know nobody. Like that's
Yeah, I know.
I
I know
hope I
that,
get to
I
the
know
point
that
where you're
famous
like-
quote.
you're like you.
Everybody has Riff Raff like on their wall.
Yeah,
You know what Riff Raff said?
Is that not like a
It
common?
reminds me of the old riff raff adage.
Is that not a common quote?
I
I have no idea what you're
could
talking
never
about.
tell. I mean, I know who Riff Raff is. The never.
Do you know that?
You
quote?
guys have heard of this. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know who,
I
I know
don't
who
know
Riff Raff is
Yeah,
for sure.
like, I don't know
I didn't know he had
Song?
famous quotes.
Yeah, he's got one famous call.
That's one famous quote.
Wait. Is it a lyric or like a quote?
It's like the most famous Vine of all
Yeah, I
time.
actually don't know where. Oh yeah.
I guess we're the olds. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
But I feel
I'll
like Riff
be-
Raff is old people's shit. I'm surprised you guys know Riff Raff.
I hate being on this side.
Just to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
Well, now that I've seen that, that's awesome.
That should be way more famous.
Yeah, right?
Okay, now I want Jackie. I need you like a year from now to have a grill and do that exact video.
Yeah, I hope you're just
Well,
like,
no,
you've
but what's your
changed.
version is, what do you say? Bitch is gonna know or whatever?
Oh, the bitch is gonna be sick.
That's gonna be your version.
Yeah.
Like, my plan is to make these bitches sick.
And act like I don't. Yeah, no, I'll work on it.
We'll
Everything's
work
cool.
on
With, if I had a grill, everything I would say.
It
would
really
be
does
cool.
make all the difference. But we've got her on the show now. But
Good.
but now her new thing is like when other people are on, like I'm gonna be producer again. It's like no, you're just on the show now.
But like, I don't think. I don't know, because then I think it's too many voices.
4?
Have you
Yeah.
seen the show? they're on?
yeah.
Like a third of the
Yeah,
But
we have 10 people
Do you actually have 10?
that speak an episode. Probably.
Yeah, I mean in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. I'll. No, I appreciate you guys like yanking me in.
You're crushing right now, Jackie.
I think there is a non-zero chance that Tony Hinchcliffe has lost the election for Donald Trump. I think that that might be a thing. I'm not even
people
joking.
Are very angry.
Dude,
Who's the Kevin and I were texting about this last night a little bit.
Wait, let me just explain for
Okay.
people who don't know.
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe, the new the latest golden boy in the comedy world after the Tom Brady roast. He was really anointed the next one. Been in comedy forever. Kill Tony is regarded as one of the most like comic thing, and he's built it for so long, and it finally blew up after the roast. He's in the Rogan circle.
He sells out arenas.
Yeah. He sold out of this arena that he was in, but that's all very new. Like Kill Tony was a very successful show, but after the roast, it became I can sell out arenas. Shane Gillis doing the Trump thing on stage with him. Like it became a real thing, and then promptly turned around. Actually, you know what I was gonna say? Like he blew it, but probably not. So what he did was he went to the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden on Sunday night and performed. And they had Hulk Hogan in costume up there.
They had Walking Bets out there.
What?
The Walking Bets girl was just doing laps.
Dude,
that would be funny. She was doing concessions.
She's just going around.
Pull up. Search on Twitter, like lawyer. Just put lawyer and see
what.
This is. When Trump brought out his lawyer, this was like it'd be like one of those memes like, oh, you're going to jail.
First of all,
that's his lawyer.
Wait, first of all, I'm shocked that just lawyer worked.
Yeah.
It was the first hit.
That's very common now, and you were like, Google lawyer.
That's exactly the clip, though, right?
Yeah.
Nailed it. That's
She's
insane.
in a bedazzled jacket, dancing like.
This is Donald Trump's lawyer?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
She's a rocket, dude. I love this shit.
Yeah.
She's like bouncing and shit. She's like riffraff. This is, if this is your lawyer, you're either totally fucked or like you're golden.
Yeah.
And this is only your lawyer because the geriatric who was your lawyer got disbarred. You're like, all right, Rudy.
Went from Rudy to this chick.
Rudy didn't work. I guess we'll go the opposite direction.
Get this beautiful bombshell. But so, these rallies, Kamala had Beyonce, so they've become like half concert, half political speeches, half rally. And Tony went up there and did a set, and a comedy set, and the biggest things where he called we'll put the clips in, but he called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. He said that these Hispanics, these Latinos, they be having babies. They just have babies. He said they have babies that they don't pull out. They only come in just like they do to our country. And then he said that he carved a watermelon for Halloween with a black guy. And
that one's just pretty on the nose.
Yeah, they were all pretty on the
Yeah.
nose. That was the thing. And within, minutes of going viral, Bad Bunny, who was like the most influential person in music, period. We don't really know it as white people, but like globally, he's the one. Ricky Martin, J-Lo, Ariana Grande, every like Hispanic person in entertainment came out and like condemned the MAGA movement, and like more or less some people like definitively endorsed Kamala, but some people just like reposted her. I mean, adding it up literally had to be like 1 billion followers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, Ariana Grande has like 350
A billion
alone.
eyes, for
yeah,
sure.
like
I've seen
a billion people like that night saw all of their like Hispanic idols being like, fuck this guy and fuck Donald Trump and we like Kamala. Yeah, and then even like Hispanic conservatives that I saw, like, just a small sample or whatever, but I saw like on Twitter Hispanic conservatives being like, we don't like this. Like we're down with Trump, but like what the fuck was that? And like you're undermining everything and like fucking it all up. And we're like 5 minutes away from the election, and now this is the talk. And there are so many Latinos in the swing states. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like 5% of Pennsylvania is Latino. Everybody in Arizona, obviously there's going to be a ton. Like
It might be.
It's a big deal.
I would typically say it's so close to the election, everybody kind of has their mind made up. This could actually make an impact.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Like I think Tony Hinchcliffe maybe he's like a mole for Kamala and did this on purpose because
that's what I was saying when we were texting last night. It's like the only people who I think should be mad about this are MAGA people.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think anyone is offended by the jokes. Like I would be shocked. I'm sure I'm sure they're your fringe people, but I don't think anyone is like if he was in a comedy club, no one is walking out going, he's a racist.
Right.
But this is obviously at a political rally.
Right.
Yeah. Like, it's the setting.
Well, that is the thing. The setting. I mean, like.
Wait, was it run by anybody?
I don't know. It had to have been.
I'm sure he probably went a little
rogue.
rogue.
3 people.
Went a little rogue.
That's
I think that's a big.
George Lopez made racist jokes at Kamala's, though.
Oh,
but it was about his own people. So I think that's
You're allowed to do
Yeah,
that.
it was like,
Yeah.
they better finish the wall fast because if you leave construction equipment out by Mexicans, they'll get it.
I think it's funnier than
this.
this.
It was
like
funnier.
just calling Puerto Rico an island of floating garbage is not.
That's again, yeah, that's
a little
just
on the nose,
offensive.
you know. And I don't even think of it like I don't know. I don't think of like Puerto Rico as like now the Dominican Republic. That's garbage. No, but like it was just and you know Tony, his response on Twitter was first of all saying I vacation in Puerto Rico is very funny.
That's the I have a black friend.
It's the geographic version of I have black friends. But more than that, just being like these are jokes, and it's like yes, and like John just said, no one's really offended, but we've been in this era for like a decade plus now. We've done this dance so many times, and you know that like setting matters, intent matters, the forum matters. So like if you were in a comedy club and you told these jokes, there'd probably be one or two, you know, Puerto Ricans that were like, "Hey, fuck you, man," and the rest they would probably even laugh at it, and it wouldn't mean anything. But when you do it at a campaign rally a week away from the election in front of 20,000 people in New York, like it's gonna be a thing. It's not just gonna be it was jokes. It's gonna be first of all, it's gonna bomb because it's really not the right setting, and it's gonna be an issue, and you can't just write it off as like these are just jokes because. You know, a comic more than anybody knows that you have like the setting matters, whether you're in a club or a theater, or who your audience is, when you're doing corporate gigs, when you're doing private gigs, when you're
college shows, like
everything. They all matter, and they all that determines how your jokes like land.
It reminded me of in The Office when Michael and Holly do the show at the corporate retreat. And it bombs and it's terrible. And afterwards, Michael's like, he's like, yeah, you know, sometimes he's like trying to keep things positive. And he's like, yeah, you know, sometimes like some things work in different rooms and some don't. And Holly's like, but we wrote all this specifically for this room.
Yeah. And he was even doing the thing like when he tells the Puerto Rican joke, he goes, or no, I think that the Puerto Rican one bombs, and he kind of goes like, "Oh, okay, all right, like I see what's going on here with this room," and then they kind of laugh at the Latinos have babies jokes, which was like it wasn't even a joke. He's just like Latinos have a lot of babies, and then they kind of laughed, and he's like, "Oh, I see. Now you guys are like warming up," and it was like I don't know. It all felt like hacky in that regard and like the wrong setting.
Do you think after the Brady roast he felt like he was untouchable?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think Tony, you know, being friends with Rogan and becoming the golden boy in comedy the last like 6 months, I think he was like, because even I remember him saying on somebody's pod, or maybe it was even off the record, because we had just been around him at the
LA
Poroso's thing,
Poroso.
And then but he was also, was he at the
we saw him at Rogan at Bert and Tom's Poroso. He was on both Poroso things, 5K in Texas.
And I think I remember him
I
being
went
like
on record that I'm pretty sure he was making eyes at me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I think I might have accidentally been making eyes at him. I actually think I was like asking for it. Like
You just set women back a decade.
I gotta just like be honest.
Have you tried smiling more? You can't say asking for it.
No, they're like, I want to be like on.
You wanted to sit back there?
Ultimately, I'm very happy this happened because I think it seems like from my little Twitter I've done, like it seems like everyone is like, all right, that probably wasn't a good idea, and I think we needed a reset. Yeah. Like everyone's still like everything, all the lines are too blurred. I feel like there's always been like celebrities have been involved in politics but then they act a little different when they're doing it. Like you know, you're on stage, you're in a suit, you're a little different. Particularly, and again, maybe it's happened forever, and I'm just noticing it more now. But like when you're seeing like presidential candidates sit down on a podcast with a guy in a sweatshirt and stuff, you're like, dude, how about that? Everyone stop trolling. You go do politics, you're a politician. You go do comedy, you're a comedian.
Yeah, but
you go do this.
The problem, the politicians are like the comedians.
What do you mean?
Like they're not real politicians.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is not. You know what I mean? Like the line got so blurred to the point that the candidates aren't even real. Somebody said,
You go do government. You go do comedy. Like,
Wait, you're telling me you didn't watch Tim Wall's Twitch streaming yesterday?
Yeah, right. They got the headphones on, talking to AOC.
Did you see his controller wasn't even on for the photo op?
That's funny. But I saw someone say, like, you know, if you were in a coma 20 years and you woke up, and you told me that the guy who hosted The Apprentice is sitting down with the guy who hosted Fear Factor, and it's being regarded as like the most important piece of media.
It's our Frost Nixon.
Yeah,
like, what are we doing, dude?
Like, the lines have gotten blurred, and we've gotten a little bit out of control.
Was the whole podcast circuit thing a thing in past elections?
No, heavens no.
Remember when Dave interviewed Trump? It was like the biggest thing imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, presidents have done.
Yeah.
But like, how many
podcasts?
Like Barack did, I think Pod Save, right, when he was like sitting president, maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think because they all worked for Barack Obama.
Oh, right,
I think they didn't start it until after Obama was done.
What do you think was the first? Can you Google like first president to do a podcast?
It probably was Obama doing Pod Save, but it wasn't a sitting president. I don't think.
Yeah, because I remember Dave was making that distinction on his show. He's like
The first
sitting
president.
Yeah.
When the industry as a whole, like of podcasting, which is all kind of like what Tony is, and like it's all like live YouTube shit, like it's all kind of podcasty. Look at this fucking setup.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be real conversations had in places like this.
I mean, this one got particularly crazy when Kamala's on Call Her Daddy and
I don't think that podcast circuit should be used in
right.
terms of
I mean, and God bless him, and I actually think it would have been very interesting, and I wish he did it. But you know, Kamala asking to do Jack Mac's TikTok is kind of insane.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like
she asked you to do Jack Mac's TikTok.
Yeah. It was PMT. BFFs and Jack Mac, and I actually think he should have done it. I think he got like not bullied into, but just I think like the others said no, and I think he was like, all right, I'll say no too. But he was like, his plan was to do like a 3 or 4 minute just like TikTok video, and he was like, I was gonna like go like be myself and like really grill her. I was like, I would watch that at least.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's no shade to him because he's got 1 million TikTok followers, and he's not it's not like a Jerry. What did you find here, Kat?
No. Obama did Bill Simmons.
Oh, okay. I was like, Jerry Canavan is not a.
Oh wait, no. This is.
Yeah, it was real.
That makes sense. Mark Maron probably, but Mark Maron for sure had Obama. I know that.
Yes.
I just don't know when it was. But the point being that like, Mark Maron is a pretty, I can see him doing an interview like that.
Yeah.
When we get to the point where it's like J.D. Vance and Theo talking about cocaine, it's funny. But it's like it's really not. It really is just about like getting the votes. Like they don't give. You know what I mean?
I mean, I also don't fault anyone involved in it. Like podcasts are the new media, and presidential campaigns have always tried to take advantage of new media. Like Obama using Facebook was like a big thing on how he got elected. It feels like we got too weird with it. I don't know why it feels different than.
But you say reset. I think it's going to keep getting weirder, man.
I don't. I think again.
Kamala's going to be on Haktua before the election.
Oh yeah. Does that piss you guys off?
Haktua?
Like all this stuff. Like you guys work hard on building it up. You've been doing it forever, and then you just see that happen. Do you clench your fist?
Really?
No.
I really like Haley. I think her name is Haley.
Haley
I refer to her as her real name.
Yeah.
Like Welsh or whatever. I think she is like a delightful girl. I think she's like been given this.
She's doing it right.
Yeah, like she's very. I have not heard her say anything since she started where I'm like, fuck this chick. She's very genuine.
Sweet.
She's very sweet. Acknowledges, I think, that like this is kind of silly and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like she's riding the wave. That it bothers me that like it's like, hey, I wish. Like I didn't have to work as hard as I did, and I wish it just went right to the top like that. But there's always going to be there's that in like every, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an actor who grinded it out, and someone just becomes famous
happens
overnight. And
it is crazy. Like every single person has a podcast. It's almost like an Instagram account. It's like if you are a public figure, you have a podcast.
Yeah.
You see that the Times report that was like,
yes,
44%.
Of
America?
I think
like
it's
influencers.
I think
7% of
it was
America?
7%. I think it was 24 million people,
24,
and I think it's 7% of the American workforce.
Identify themselves as an influence.
And say that it's their full-time job, which is like, what does that mean?
I'm trying to think of a career that's like 5% of the country. Like, are there more influencers than doctors, surgeons? I think so.
Google is.
I would think so.
What percentage of America? You want to do doctors first?
Yeah.
What
Let's do
percentage of America?
surgeons.
Well, because doctors are hard to become, though.
Yes.
You got to go through all your. Whoa. Oh. If you don't know this, Pav's worst Googler on the planet.
Really?
Borderline impressive.
Well, you kind of just have to type exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, no, but he doesn't. It's crazy.
Okay.
He can't spell any words, and he'll also just search for the weirdest roundabout
I have to give him
ways.
credit though, because whenever I do it, I'm like, wait, what were they?
It's a
just-
tough
Yeah.
keyboard. I got to get a new keyboard.
Sure, blame the keyboard. 290. Now I got somebody do the math.
I can't do the math. Percentage. Wow.
Yeah.
0.29. Oh, wait. Percent of the people U.S.
Yeah. Doctor.
So 5%.
5% of the world or of America is engineers.
So it's the same amount of engineers as influencers.
But that actually, now I'm thinking though the other way. Becoming an engineer is so hard. I almost think there would be more influencers because all you got to do is fucking. But I
you
guess
just
to call it a
claim it.
full-time job is the difference.
But you're factoring in like 16-year-old. I guess I don't know who the survey did, but like
yeah.
Housewives who have like an Instagram account that like they sell a little thing. Like I have a couple of buddies' wives who have like blogs and stuff like that.
But if you call it your full-time job and you're being real, that's and that's you're not lying or whatever. Like you actually, this is my income. This is how I put like food on the table. Dude, it's just so big. There's so many people. Like when you think that when you're promoting something and you are like, oh my god, I can't possibly promote this more. Like my followers are probably like so sick of it. It's like you're touching the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg of all the people out there. And then you find these people. Oh, we had Ian, what's his name? Ian Sterling on. He is the comedian. He's from Scotland. He does the Love Island like voiceover shit.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
He was at the VMAs this year, and a K-pop artist got on stage to do like the pre-show and performed, and he was like, I'm gonna throw this person a bone. Like let me repost them and say like how good they were, and maybe get them some followers.
He has 1 million.
How many followers do you think this person had?
K-pop artist?
Yeah.
Were they at like 10 million?
190.
190 million? Dude, that's unbelievable. Holy fuck. We don't know.
We had no idea, and they have, half of the American population follows this person. It's like
the K-pop stuff is funny because they have mandatory military service. So BTS is in the military, right? Imagine getting killed.
That's a skit you guys should do.
Yeah, just like
I don't know if
you're
you
at
can hire a
war
bunch of
and you
Asians,
get
but-
killed by like the most beautiful boy you've ever seen with flawless skin.
This is what it must have been like to fight Hercules.
I do. Part of me, I don't get bothered by like the shot to stardom. What does, I don't even bother me, but I used to joke about it, but now it's become very, very real. Like it started off, I remember like when Whitney Cummings started her podcast, like right away her first guest was Dave Grohl. First fucking guest.
Goddamn.
And I was like, this is not fair. You are like a showrunner and a producer and a millionaire. You have all these contacts, and now you're coming into my lane where like it should just be the guys fucking around. And I kind of like started that way joking, and now it's like it's a pretty significant problem.
Everybody who's ever played a pro sport
Awesome
has an
athletes,
athlete.
super entertaining athletes. They have amazing stories. Musicians, entertainers. Like I would listen to them over me too.
Yeah, I ran out of stories to tell. I think my first month at
Years
Barstool.
ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I've been coasting since surviving Barstool season 1. It's been slowly. It hasn't been a steep downhill. Like trucks are still throwing on that loud brake, but it's like it's been down.
I mean, and these guys are like, Jeff Teague is my favorite one.
He's
by
a
far the best
phenomenal storyteller.
Bro, like great. Not great, like a good basketball player, made a nice career as a professional basketball player, and is a far superior podcaster and storyteller. And he'll just, like something that's just a memory that gets unlocked in the back of his head that was like a nothing story to him, is like mega viral because it's like so interesting and people are like, holy shit, he said that or he did that. And it's like, I don't know, me like telling stories about like my mom and dad growing up are not gonna hit the same way as
who gives a fuck.
his. So that is like, I think, a legitimate problem for us.
It's the barrier of entry is so small that every athlete ever was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when this is done. And now it's like, why don't you order a $50 mic on Amazon Prime and start making $1 million a year?
They also learned, I think in the beginning they were like scared to be real, and their managers and agents and whatever told them they have to be like proper. And then whoever opened the floodgates on that one, I'm trying to even think of like who All the Smoke I think was a pretty early one. And all the guys where it's like you can just like fuck around and say what you want and like it'll be okay. You might get some blowback here and there every now and then, but for the most part, people are gonna love it. And now it's like, oh yeah, I'll just go tell all my locker room stories, all my war stories, all my hookup stories. I'll listen to all those all the fucking time.
Every single time.
Yeah, every single time.
When people find out I have a podcast, they're like, "Oh, check it out." I just don't.
Yeah.
Don't. I promise you won't like it. I promise you.
Do you ever say like a different name?
I try to, and right before Upfront.
Wait, did you say what?
A different, like, instead of anus?
I didn't want the show to be called that. But and we
It's
always
like
we always
you
call
made
like
it
Untold
probably.
Story this that. But like right before the Upfronts at the office, they decided to put all the show names on the outside of the doors, like printed on the wall, and so it just says anus, like pretty decent size, right out on the wall. So the whole goal was like you wait in your studio and people come in and talk to you. Not a soul.
Nobody
Not a soul.
Oh, you're like the porn star at the convention that no one's going up to for pictures.
That's exactly what I felt like. And so everybody's like bopping around, like, "Hey," like, no, just beelining right by. We had one guy come in because he saw we were doing crosswords in there because there was nothing else to do, and he's like, "What are you guys doing? A crossword?" And he goes in, he's like, "Oh, this one's easy," and then just leaves. He's like, God damn, like we got
Yeah, that I mean, we've always talked about the name. What problems our name presents. People
Are we comparing these right now, bud?
Yeah. So I was gonna say like you got us beat. I think.
Well,
I actually rented a house for a bit this winter, and I was talking to the person who owns it, and she was like, "So what do you do?" And I was like, "I do like a podcast." You never really know what to say. I was like, "I don't know. I do like a podcast, and I don't know. I do like a sketch show." And she's like, "What's it called? I'll check it out." And I was like, "Nah, it's fine." She's like, "No, I want to see it." And I was like, "No, like really, I'm not going to give it to you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I'll find it. I'll just Google your name." And then for the first time, like probably ever, because I just wanted to be like, I was like, "What the fuck is she going to see?" So I Googled my name, and it really wasn't bad, but it was just like, I only went on the front page. And it was mostly like just like John Feitelberg, Barstool, it was my dad a little bit. And then there was just one fucking headline from a Reddit from I don't know when. And it was just like, "I pity Feitelberg." And I was like, what the fuck, man?
Pity's the worst. Pity from a Redditor.
I'm like, well, she's definitely going to click that and find out whatever the fuck it says in there. That sucks.
This man's living in my home.
Were they just like pitying you in general?
I didn't read anymore.
It's a good question, Jackie.
It was a shot. It literally,
Top to bottom.
it
Was
went
it,
through my heart like a shotgun.
Yeah, that's
and I just
tough.
closed out of the window. I was like, well, fuck. That was probably like a week ago. It's all I've thought about.
Was
since.
it Tate?
This is why I don't read things. This is exactly why I don't read things.
Those ones are worse than like any making fun of me is fine.
Yeah.
I think the words like pity and pathetic are like two of like the most like
Sad.
sad.
Yeah.
Like, you really.
That hits hard.
Wouldn't want to be him.
I also like. It's bothered me so much. Again, this is why I don't fucking read that now. Like I was like, I'm not even gonna say anything because I don't want people to go see it. And now everyone's gonna go fucking see it.
Yeah.
Now everyone like, I'm gonna walk out of this room. You guys are all gonna Google it. Everyone listening to this is gonna fucking Google it.
And they're like, wow.
And now everyone's gonna know something about me that I don't know about me.
Dude, what if everybody like starts treating you with like kid gloves now? Like tomorrow, like KFC's like, "Hey, John,
You're a star, man. You're really great.
you're doing really good."
You did a great job today.
I don't know why was that on the front page.
Yeah, like why does that pull up? It's probably because like so many people liked it and commented on it.
Yeah, front page, like that's an agreeable post.
Like there, it's probably like 1 out of 1,000 are positive about me. That one can't pop up on the Google search. I recently tried to. I looked into cleaning up my Google search, and I tried to hire this guy, and it was a staggering amount of money to do it, and I like kind of read through like his, I guess it's like a pitch, like a PDF of like how it's gonna work.
Call that a deck in the biz.
Deck. That's the word. I'm pretty sure all he does is like you can just like click on links that say like give feedback to Google, and I think that's all he does.
That's all he does.
I'm pretty sure. Like I wanted some like, like hacker shit. He was gonna like get into Google, and like I have like contacts at Facebook and Google who can like make these things disappear. And I think it's just like all you can do is like click on, because I went and did it myself. Yes, you click like where is there was one that I had that said like out of date. It's just like shit that like I'm still married. I'm like, no, I'm not. You know what I mean? Things like that. But he was asking for like like $60,000 for like a couple months to do this. And then I was like, I'm probably not going to do that, but like, still talking to him. And I was like, so here's the other problem. Every single thing I post ever, everybody on Instagram immediately comments about my affair. What can you do about that? He's like, nothing. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to pay you a dude.
Have you tried doing something worse?
Maybe you should murder someone.
Sit down for strategy.
Major pain, yeah. You're not thinking about your knee.
I need to do that myself.
That's good. Yeah.
That would be a funny, funny PR company, like murder someone, dude.
Yeah. Do something significantly worse. If you don't like hearing about
there
that.
are actually, it's probably like I could do things that are actually worse, but like less gossipy,
less
and scandally.
social faux pas.
Yeah. That it's like, if I like killed someone,
They wouldn't give a fuck about tax fraud.
Yeah, but there's like legit, like the Marvin Harrisons of the world, and like people who have like Brandy hit that guy with his car.
Matthew Broderick ran over
killed
somebody.
the guy.
Yeah.
Bruce Jenner killed the guy. Like
this is one that I think Owen pitched it as a sketch, and I don't know where he got the idea from, but it's a shoeless Joe Jackson, and because he was involved with the Black Sox, he was like a racist, gambler, like like a pretty bad guy.
I thought he was the good one.
Maybe I'm mistaken, but this is how it was at least pitched to me by whoever pitched it.
Got it.
A sketch where he goes into a PR company and he like lists everything wrong with him, and they're just like, "You try taking off your shoes?"
Yeah, be barefoot.
And he just,
Now I'm
shoeless Joe Jackson. Like, it just
Who's that shoeless man? I like the cut of his jib. That's really fucking funny.
You know what you should do is you should pull like a Martha Stewart. Go to jail for like insider trading, something cool that nobody's actually gonna like.
Become friends with Snoop Dogg.
Become friends
Who's
with
also
Snoop Dogg.
murdered.
Dude, did
you? Yeah.
I was saying that during the Olympics, where I was like, it was the Olympic like main coverage was like, it was Alice Cooper, Snoop Dogg, and there was one other person, and I was like, this is the cancel culture. Like everyone's like, it's cancel culture. Like Snoop was on trial for murder. Alice Cooper was, a sex podcaster, and I forget who the third person. Oh, it's Tarico. I was like, the guy who refuses to admit he's black.
My favorite story of all time. It's my favorite sports story ever. You know that one, right?
Who is it?
Mike Tirico.
He wouldn't admit he's black.
Mike Tirico is not a black man. He says he's Italian.
He's a black man.
He's black.
It's one of my favorite, like it's like favorite like sports adjacent story. I think his quote was, "My mother is as white as the refrigerator door," and like he says he's an Italian from Queens.
Wait, that is a black man.
He is not a black man. He is not a black man. He and I think there's a little bit of something that's like he doesn't really know who his dad is, kinda.
Yeah.
So they were like, I think it's a black guy, Mike. You know what I mean? So there's a little something like that, but he's like.
I have a pair of like really cheap sunglasses that are like really tinted, and I really can't see color in them. Like it's like kind of
Jackie
like
literally doesn't see color.
Yeah, well, everyone just looks really tan in it, and like some people just look like darker shades of tan, but like sometimes it's just a really tan person, and sometimes it's a black person. I can't see color.
Just can't tell.
Yeah.
Well, that's
just like, go up and just like, you look tan.
Go back to that Levitar one.
You have generations of tan
My
built in.
God. What's your secret?
I think it came out because he got nominated for like an NAACP award. And he was like, I'm flattered, but I'm not black. And the whole world was like,
wow. That is a good. I love when like a weird sports story comes out. My favorite one is Jamal Charles was in the Special Olympics.
For what?
To compete.
No, but what's his special?
Running. Jamal Charles, the very fast running back for the Chiefs.
But I mean,
imagine
why is
bringing
he special. What is his?
I think he had like a learning disorder, couldn't read. What? But imagine like you're a parent struggling with like a child with Down syndrome. You're like, this is going to be the best day of their lives. Like we're going to go. And then like that's his competition.
Smokes you.
He had a learning. That's your.
Well, they need to split things up in this.
Yeah.
There needs
but
to
like
be
based on level. Like how do you?
Just even eye test.
It's an eye test.
Yeah, you're good.
He's a grade 3.
At age 10, he won a gold medal. Yeah, I bet he did. Because wait, but the Special Olympics is different than the Paralympics, or no?
Paralympics is the wheelchair. Special
Right.
Olympics is
You can be like mentally
yeah.
sick. But
They're both funny.
I have to make fun of all of them. That is hilarious. That's more your parents, though, right? Being like, yo, go win a gold medal in the Special Olympics. You're 10. You're like, okay, I don't know.
I have dyslexia.
Yeah, right. Fuck. Well, where were we? We were talking about Tarico. Cancel culture. Oh, Martha Stewart. There's a very funny clip of Martha Stewart. See if you can find this, Pabs. It was, I heard it on another podcast, so I didn't find it myself. Martha Stewart, there's a new Netflix thing coming out about her, I believe. So I think this was a trailer for her new Netflix. Do Martha Stewart husband cheating. See what pulls up on that. There was a quote that was like, ladies, if your husband is cheating on you, dump him. He is a piece of shit and is not worth it, and leave. And the interviewer goes, didn't you cheat on your husband? And he goes, yeah, but he didn't know. Like, doesn't miss a beat. It was fucking so gangster.
Dude,
It was like, that's different. He doesn't know.
I always remember like my roommate in college one time broke up. Him and his girlfriend broke up, and he was like really heartbroken by it. And not even really heartbroken. He's like angry, and he's like, it's fucking bullshit, man. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what happened? And he's like, she fucking dumped me because she said I've been cheating on her. And I was like, well, you have been. And he goes, but she didn't know that. Like, exactly that. Yeah, like, but she can't prove that. And I was
That's like,
she clearly knows.
Is inadmissible. Like, the jury doesn't know that one. It was so good the way. I mean, she didn't even pause for a second. She was like, yeah, he didn't know that. Like, fucking incredible the way she spun it, man.
Dude, that's kind of reminded me of a clip I saw this weekend of Fantasia. The
American Idol?
American Idol, yeah. And she's talking about meeting Diana Ross, I believe, some iconic singer. And she was 5, and she was like the best singer in her chorus or whatever. And it's her idol walks in. She's this 5-year-old girl. She's like, oh my fucking God, that's Diana Ross. And Diana Ross is greeting people, and she gets introduced to this young Fantasia as like, she's the next Diana Ross. She's this unbelievable singer. And when everyone walks away, Diana Ross goes, hey, little girl, you might be able to sing, but I'm the bitch.
Oh, it's a little girl. That's awesome.
To a 5-year-old girl.
Oh, my God.
Yo, that is a level. You got to get, if you're going to be that bitch, you got to be the girl bitch.
All the
Steps on
time.
5-year-olds, That's fucking incredible.
You might be able to
man.
sing, I'm the bitch.
Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Whether you're talking about a concert, a football game, a comedy show. We were at the Out of Order live show last night. They're going to be on tour in the coming years. I'm sure you get your tickets there. Whatever it is that you're trying to do live, Gametime has you covered, the official ticketing partner of Barstool. You know how much we love it. Every time someone at Barstool goes somewhere, we're using Gametime to get there. And right now they have the Gametime Picks feature, which all you got to do is open up your app, and then at the top it says GT Picks. Toggle that, make sure that's on, and it'll give you the best deals available. You don't have to worry about the really expensive ones. You don't have to really worry about the crappy seats. These are in your wheelhouse, the best seats available for the best prices, so you don't have to sift through hundreds and thousands of secondary ticket listings. So download the app, choose GT Picks at the top of the screen, and you can browse all the best local events and local deals on the Gametime app. So what are you waiting for? Download the Gametime app today and use code KFC to easily score great deals with the new Gametime Picks. What time is it?
Gametime, who?
So last night we were at the Out of Order live show, and my favorite moment of the show was they like opened it up to questions, and one guy asked, when are you going to be making full-length feature films? John was like, we got a couple steps to go before that.
I mean, not really.
No, we do. I mean, obviously,
actually-
I
I
don't know
mean,
if
it's
it's
a
obvious,
flattering
but
question.
something we'd like
it's a
to do
flattering
one
question
day.
that I think it's in the realm of possibility
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But like people that make movies, that's their only job.
Yeah,
And they
I know.
take, like,
that's always
years.
the problem here
Yeah.
with anything that you want to do that's really high quality, scripted, takes time. Is like this is technically my 5th thing on the list of like what I do to make the company money.
Yeah.
you know. So it's like it's very. I always think about that with like people who write books and shit too. It's like there are people who take like a couple years off to write
do
a
this
book,
one
and it's like,
thing.
I guess you get an advance from these places and shit, but it's like, how the fuck do people have the time and effort when you have a real job?
Right.
You know?
It's hard to get everybody together for a
skit.
A skit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I guess you either got to be really rich, where you can like take the time off and like all do it together, or you're like broke as a joke and you all like live together in the same apartment and you're like, let's film this with a
Right.
camcorder. But when you're in that in between,
Yeah.
like I got to go to work.
That's the. I think that's the entertainment industry like as a whole, where like it's either nepo babies, which I think is bullshit.
I'm for nepo babies.
pro.
Yeah, I'm also pro nepo
I
baby.
think the whole thing. Anyone getting mad is so fucking.
That's what a
dumb.
slap in the face to your parents. Like imagine if
Throw
your
it down
kids
the
are just
drain.
like, I don't want them. No.
Yeah, no thanks.
I don't want an internship at Barstool.
Yeah,
Like, I want to earn
it's
it.
like, do you know what I went through? Even just like the money, it's like people like I don't want to like spoil my kids, and I get that, but it's also like, well then what did I
That's
work
the
for?
reason.
Like,
That's the
fucking money.
reason for being a parent, so you
Yeah.
can set them up for that.
And also like, you obviously they're pretty good. Their parents are great. They grew up in that
Right.
environment.
And they
Like,
have the
yeah,
money
they're
for the
pretty fucking
best
good at it.
singing classes,
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're
Yeah,
good looking.
If you, it's actually like we should be shaming the babies who don't make it at all.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
people
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
You look like your parents. You have the same voice as your
How
parents. You have the money,
embarrassing.
all that, and you are nothing.
It's also I think such an overstated thing. Like if you just think about Hollywood, like everyone, I think everyone's like loves to say like every indie artist is a nepo baby, and then there's probably like 4 of them, which is a pretty good amount.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of fucking indie artists.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably under 1% of them are nepo babies,
nepos, yeah.
and you can do that. With it. But then I think entertainment as a whole is either quote unquote nepo babies or poor people. Because or people who grew up poor. Because in the middle, it's like I gotta go to work.
Yeah. Right. I can't.
I don't have the freedom to like try and chase my dreams because my parents made money.
Yep.
I have to go to work. Or poor people who are like, well, I'm poor either way, so
I might as well
do
make
something.
this piece of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
middle class that's like, how the fuck did you make it?
But I guess maybe that's where producers come in sometimes. Where like, if I had like a shit ton of money, I think I would. If I had like Portnoy money, I think I would like bankroll you guys and be like, so take the time off, and here's like the money you need to cover your expenses.
But my
And then I get all the
you get all the money.
I actually was thinking about that the other day about like producers. I guess when if you do really front the money, you're like, I want to make sure I get profits. But I would feel weird if I were to just bankroll something and then I like take the money for it.
Oh, I
Like,
disagree. You're the reason it exists.
I don't. But maybe because
It
I make
wouldn't
content
exist
myself.
without you.
I know, but it wouldn't. I think like, okay, yes, but it wouldn't exist without you. And I think you guys are the more important
Yeah.
part of it. You know what I mean?
That's what I do with the Saturdays to the Boys. I love making that joke because I genuinely don't believe that I should have gotten paid for it. So I like to.
That's how brainwashed you are. Crazy.
But also like, I can't speak to like authors and stuff like that. But we've like thought out like how much time would be needed to do something like that. It's not. It's like I think all our brains immediately go to like Hollywood, where it's like it's a year and all, like we probably take a month.
You
month
say
to
that,
shoot,
bro.
A month
Bro,
to shoot,
bro,
yes,
how-
and then Pat's have to
How
get
many
in a lab.
times have you had just trouble like getting, like you said, getting schedules to line up for a skit?
Well, it would be a month clean, like
Straight.
Everybody
Like, we have to be
quits,
together.
like,
You're
not
not doing
quits,
your
but,
other
like,
thing.
yeah.
But that's like
You're-
a tough thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
like, and then if it doesn't work out, you like go back to your daily routine with your tail between your legs
Yeah.
and never do it again.
Yo, can you
But
imagine?
that's strictly filming. That's not counting writing. That's not counting editing. That's
all
not
that
like
shit. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like to shoot
But
it.
you guys could then get back to your job while like. But it's these guys who get really fucked, where it's like, okay, now you go edit while you still edit this.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
now-
yeah.
Where is
all those
this?
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine though the people who? I feel like it probably happens more with music than movies. But like if you, especially if you're one of those people like who puts like years in between your album, and then like the first day, people are like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like happened to Katy Perry, I think.
Yeah.
It's like,
That
that just like came and went like a fart in the wind. But I guess usually some of those people are like, in like 5 years, you're gonna love this. Like, I'm ahead of my time. But in this moment right now, like,
it has to suck.
It has to suck.
I always thought that with like exactly what you're saying, but I always thought with Taylor Swift, where it's like wouldn't we post a blog, a podcast? You're like, I don't know. I mean, I worked on it for sure, but I'm gonna do another one in 45 minutes.
Right, I got another one that's gonna erase it. Basically,
I worked on it for 2 years, and it's like, everyone hates it immediately.
That's my favorite part about being on the Yak, because it's daily. I'm just like, that episode stunk.
On to the next one
tomorrow.
Yeah. There's also it's such a different bar when you have a daily radio show. I think is very different, where it's like we really are just like filling time and shooting the shit and like
what can I do in between days to like prep or like that's tough.
Yeah, and I think audience members are just like I'm listening at work or on my commute or whatever, and the bar is not like that high. But when you are like, we've been waiting for this, and I know you've been working on this, and it's like, we hate this. That's why you just never try it. And you don't have to worry about
that's the best advice.
Don't try. Don't try and don't have hope, and then you can't really fail. I had perhaps one of the worst weekends of my life this weekend.
Oh hell yeah!
And that's saying a lot. If you've been keeping up with my life. The other day we were discussing the whole Tate drama, and Nate said something like, we were just talking about like the way that Tate has been handling it, and Nate said something like for example, like you could talk to him and explain to him how everybody like extended so much grace to you during like your shit, and I just went. Wait, what, me? It's like, who extended what to who on the what? And he was like, yeah, you know how like everybody kind of like, forgave you and like moved on or whatever. And I was like, I don't think you know what happened. I think we live in different worlds.
Dude, that's crazy.
It was nuts.
That was a real conversation.
He said, I think I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he did say, you can explain to him how like people gave you grace during your. I was like, you want to look at my Instagram comments right now, like 7 years later?
Not after the scrub that you're about to do.
No.
I mean that your situation was one of the craziest I've ever seen. Like
still is to this day.
Like you're the first person to ever cheat on your wife. I don't know.
Bro, you know what? Actually,
they forgive Dave Grohl in a day. They were like, he's a rock star.
I should have put out my own Instagram post. Yeah. That was one of the craziest posts ever. Like, I'm having a baby, but not with her. Like,
please give us our
Be
privacy.
nice. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was that. Actually, one of the worst little like bits of fallout, if you will. Like every time there's something new where I'm like, wow, this still really sucks. I got a Taylor Swift like fan account posted my video of when I was talking shit about Chapel Roan. I think it was me and you on the show.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I quoted everyone was quoting the Taylor Swift, you wouldn't last a minute in the asylum I was raised in. And I was saying how Chapel Roan canceled all her shows after like 1 minute of controversy, and Taylor Swift is powering through it. And some Taylor Swift account posted me and was like, I'm a Chapel Roan fan, but like he spilled. And I was like, I spilled on the internet, man. And then there was a comment being like, do you know who this guy is and what he did? And then she fucking deleted it. No. I was like, yo, I had my moment. I had a spill
got cleaned up.
I spilled, bro. I was like, fuck, man.
This might be kind of like a minefield to step in, but I kind of respected that Brie, after the Menendez brothers thing, like the next episode, she was like, I think I stand by everything that I say, and then she kind of like
stood on
doubled
business,
down.
as they say.
And I think that everybody stopped, like whatever.
Yeah, she I think she handled that. She's in a spot, dude. That everything she says, people go off on.
Under a microscope. Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, maybe since if she's not with Zach Bryan anymore, that'll like change. I don't know if that like sticks with you. Because I think it started for sure more when that happened. Dude, that guy stinks, by the way.
I don't know. I've never listened to his music. It's not really my genre of choice.
Yeah.
Is he insanely talented?
I was a
like,
big Zach Bryan fan before they started dating. And then when they started dating, I stopped listening to him because I was like, I kind of jokingly said it on Barstool Radio that day, but it ended up holding true. Where I was like, I can't be a fangirl for like my friend's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I just kind of I never made like the conscious decision like stop, but it just I don't really listen to him anymore. But I really did like him. Yeah.
I would say he's incredibly talented, but I think the reason why he's so popular is just because he's the easiest listen. Like you just throw it on at any point in front of any type of people, and they'll like you do it with your family with your friends and show people, and it's just the easiest listen.
Well, I also think like his music requires him to be cool, like a good, like a down to earth kind of guy. And if
he's
you're
very
like,
Springsteen-y kind of like salt of the earth
like
type shit. But I did hear, I don't know if this is like public or not, but he was in a fucking dorm room this weekend.
I saw that.
That is, bro. You have like a fucking addiction to either attention or pussy or something if you are on that level and you are in a dorm room.
Just go like
That's
I'd
fucking
imagine you.
insane.
I think I'd
have a
only fucking
hotel.
dorm rooms.
You know what? It's either the lamest thing ever or the coolest thing ever. I guess so. But like somebody posted a picture being like, "Oh my god, like Zach Bryan is in my roommate's bed like right now," like and ratted him out. It's like
I say that jokingly. I would be. I mean, if I had to go back to a dorm room and just sit there and talk to college kids, I'd put a bullet.
Oh my
in my
god.
fucking bed.
Yeah.
And like whatever, it could be, the hottest chick in the world, whatever. Like go to your hotel, tour bus, mansion, anywhere other than
You could buy like a pretty cheap house for the night. Just like I'm gonna buy this $70,000 home.
like what is he like? Fucking. Like let me like unlock my door room with my lanyard on my key here, like check in with the fucking security guy and like I don't know.
I almost respect that more than going on Raya the next day. Like it is so easy to not go on Raya.
Yeah.
It's so easy to not like
that was
the
a
next
move
day.
for either, to be a dick on purpose or something. You don't do that unless you're
I guess trying to, but like
is
The dating app the next day.
the next day.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
I get if you're playing dirty, but like
I don't.
That's not gonna
on
make you look
paper, you're single is like the loophole of like that being okay is still not a good look. Like
You're like you're gonna
can.
get seen.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
it's gonna get back to her.
Yeah.
Like
or
you're
wait
just
3 days.
it's pretty selfish.
4. I don't know.
Pretty selfish.
like
yeah.
literally like a minute later is nuts. But anyway, back to the worst weekend of my life. I also am like, I don't even know how to tell this story because a lot of it is TMI, and I don't think anybody wants to hear it from a like 40-year-old man on a podcast, but it's just got to be said. So I had some sort of skin issue going on this weekend, which is the grossest thing you can have, right? Like you'd rather.
That's what Tarico said when he got an NAACP award.
I'm not a black man. I got a skin issue.
I got a bit of a skin issue going.
Oh, not my skin.
That's great. Yeah, I had some sort of skin issue, man, and
What part of the body,
in
Kevin?
an area you don't want it, bro. In an area you don't want it. And I was like, there's no way it can be an STD just because of my life situation right now. Like, it's just not gonna be that. But it looks a lot like that, and it's getting worse, and I don't know what to do, and I don't even know how to describe it without being gross and weird and shit. But it was bad. I feel like everybody has kind of had a moment where, like, I don't know, you have something that itches or looks weird, and you get like paranoid for a second, and then I don't know, like it goes away. And this just did not go away and kept getting progressively worse.
Is there a seep or an ooze?
No, that was so there
Valid
was
question. Valid question.
yeah. That was like there's not like it like I don't have any like burning or oozing, but there's the one for life that nobody wants to have, and, and it's starting to look like that. And I was like, oh my god, like
How?
yeah, right. So, and I go to like a city MD thinking that like they're gonna test me for some shit and like give me a medicine or a cream or something. And I get there and she goes, "You need to go to the emergency room right now." And I was like, oh my god! I was like, I'm just gonna like chop.
It looked that bad?
It was so. Luckily, my dick is safe because I think when you start getting like on your dick. I was like, then you really should maybe just chop it off and be done with life. But it was just like my whole kind of like groin area got fucking disgusting, right?
I thought you were talking about the Jets.
I feel bad for you more than anything. I told him, I was like, I don't know how or if I should tell this. And I was like, I just think about like Jackie having to like be on the show or edit it.
No, but like don't let me hold you back.
I can't. But I'm just thinking about like younger listeners and girls listening, just being like, this is fucking gross. But you know, she was like, this is like beyond City MD Minute Clinic scope. I was like, fuck.
We don't have the tech for your dick.
Now I'm like hoping it is that. I'm like, maybe just give me a good old STD and I'm fine. So I go to the emergency room and I mean, it's just like I'm in so much discomfort and pain, and now I'm starting to freak out in my head. And I think a lot of it was almost like stress induced. So now I'm more stressed. So it's just this fucking, you know, and it's just, I'm thinking, you know, I don't know what it's going to be. So they start looking and, well, there's kind of two parts to this story, but so I get to the emergency room and I'm like walking like a cowboy at this point, you know what I mean? Like if you've ever had like a jock itch or something like that, like it was feeling like that where it's like the chafing hurts, but it was way worse than that. So I'm like hobbling into the emergency room and I check in.
They thought you had something up your ass.
As soon as they saw him, one of those guys. Light bulb.
At this point, I wish. I would rather have been like, I got a toy car trapped in my asshole. So they bring
1,000,001 chance, Doc.
They're like, there's an hour wait for a room. I'm like, of course there is. So they bring me to this like back section to do like pulse and height and weight and all that, and then they send me back to the waiting room. And as I'm going back to the waiting room, I see this family walk in, and they are all bleary-eyed and like crying. So it's like this family's walking into the emergency room crying.
Ugh.
And I'm like, oh man. And in a quick moment, it put things in perspective. I was like, whatever is going on here, you know, I'm not like this poor family. And they like go up to the window and they start to check in. And then the kid looks over at me and he's like literally crying. And he's like, holy shit, it's KFC.
No.
And I'm like, no. Oh my God. And so there's like 2 young boys, 2 young girls, and an older woman. And he says that, and he's literally kind of got a smirk on his face, but like tears are on his face. And his sister turns around. She goes, oh my God, it's the Barstool guy. We were just talking about you. Hi, nice to meet you. Our dad just died.
Oh my God.
Like with a dark, like humorous, like chuckle, but like heartfelt and crying, and her brother goes, what the fuck was that? And she goes, Dad loved Barstool. Like he would have liked that. That was a funny moment. And I was like, oh my God. And so now I'm sitting there and I'm like, my dick and balls are so itchy and burning, and this family has a dead dad and are talking to me, and I don't know what to do. So,
oh my God,
it's like a sitcom. Like.
So, yeah, it really is. So now there's probably about 20 or 30 feet between us. They're at the window. I'm like sitting down, and now that's just been established. And I get like a weird like wave from the mom, like, hi. And so I just get up and I go over to the girl who said that, and I just give her a hug. And she explained, she was like, we were just talking about you guys and Barstool. Like, he was a die-hard fan, like would wake up every morning.
Say die-hard?
Yeah, did she say die-hard?
Seems like it was pretty easy to me. Yeah. And she goes, what was the exact word I texted you? She goes like, he would have loved like to meet you. And then someone else goes like, I would take a picture and send it to him, but he's dead.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I love this family, man. Like, I love them. And so they went back to like be with him one final time. And the other guy and girl were the sister's boyfriend and the brother's girlfriend. So they came out and let the family B, and they came out to like talk to me more, and they explained to me he was from Rybrook. His name was Steve Kamen. Shout out to him and his family if anybody knows him. He would like just started a new workout routine, and like every day had been running, and he was on the treadmill, and boom, heart went out.
Oh my God!
This is why you don't exercise. But they were explaining, they were just like, yeah, like the family just has like, he loved Barstool, so like they have a very, kind of dark sense of humor, and they like use humor to get through things, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. But I also was like, I don't know what to say or do here. Like,
I would have been obligated to say like, what's wrong with me? Just like, I'm just here for my dick.
So, the guy goes to me like, no, but the guy goes to me like, I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And part of me wanted to be like, to finish the story, to fucking seal the deal, put the nail in the coffin, if you will. Be like, yeah, I'm here for a dick rash.
You know your girlfriend that I just hugged real tight?
She should go watch her. Dude, I mean, and then they, then they like come back out and like are leaving, and they were like literally like, nice to meet you. I was just like, oh, that was the weirdest, craziest interaction ever. But I kind of love it. Like at the same time, I love it. Yeah. And I think the thought that like I will just be a part of their dad's dying story for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
everybody, at least anybody who knows
you.
Dude, Kevin was texting me about it. Like, I don't know if it was while it was happening or right after.
Right
But
as it was happening.
I was like, I didn't know it was girlfriends and boyfriends involved. I was like, give that woman my number.
The widow.
I love her.
Yeah. The girl, whoever's like, my dad died, he would have loved you, but I'd send him the picture, but he's dead. I'd be like, whoever that is, I want that to be my wife.
Love her.
It was so good. And then like, I'm like literally getting up to go give her a hug. I'm like,
sorry, got the meanest case of chocolate you'll ever see.
But by the way, so then I finally get admitted. I was there from 1 to 7 at night because I was just waiting and shit. And then they run every test under the sun. Everything's negative, which again, I'm like, whew, wait a minute. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's not what
I'd
you want,
rather
really.
know, even if it's, a lifelong thing that I can't get rid of, at least I know. They send it to like the doctor of infectious diseases, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like bringing Dr. House. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a mystery.
We got to go through like my diet and like, did I put on some type of clothes or whatever it is? Like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Did you get a massage in an Eastern European country recently?
Did I meet a cannibal who's trying to soften me up? Yeah.
This is actually a cream cannibal.
Maybe I was just talking about fungal shells. Maybe that's what it is.
It's not fungus.
Oh.
Not fungal.
What is it?
But so actually today I got I just get like an email being like, your prescription is ready for some antibacterial thing. I have like some weird bacteria infection.
It's a moist area down there. Gross. Yeah.
I'm not really like that gross of a dude though. Like I like there are some dudes I'm like, you probably got bacteria growing in you at all times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I usually keep it pretty.
Did they swab the inside of you?
No.
Oh, okay, that's a nightmare.
No, that's where like my dick was good. Mm-hmm. I was like, if I got shit like on the tip and you're going in, I will literally kill myself.
I had a tip issue once.
Oh, tip issue.
Just because I didn't know what it was. It's always scary.
Yeah,
and I was never an underwear guy, and I formed a callus from it rubbing against the zipper.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, of course. Your dick tip rubbing against metal?
Yeah. I was never a underwear guy for high school and college.
No way.
Yeah.
Yo, does the cows go away? Or are you still cows?
The nerve endings are dead. Shot, dude.
I can't feel anything. I last in bed like a motherfucker.
I haven't felt pleasure in a decade. Yeah.
Why?
Yo, it's one thing if you have like some lounge pants, some sweatpants.
I was
but
always like a
zipper
jeans guy.
and denim?
Denim, a jeans, no underwear.
That is, dude,
I think it was a laziness thing in college, but
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It's not that bad.
I was just saying,
apparently it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I built up the skin. I was like, I always said, like, if I would jerk off dry, it probably would have sparked. It was unbelievable.
Did you not even have underwear at your disposal? Or you
had
it, and you just chose not to wear it?
It was college. It was freshman year of college.
You
So
keep saying that like it's an excuse.
like nobody wants to wash clothes.
Yeah.
Like,
were you ever? Was there ever a point where you were at home where your mother was like, do you have any like underwear in your laundry? Ever?
No,
Ever,
never. It was just like it was just a thing.
So if you would like hook up with girls, like
that was out of the question. Freshman me in college. No.
What would you do if you went home with a guy, and he's in jeans, and you start to hook up?
There's just like one layer.
And he takes off pants, and there's no underwear.
Oh yeah, well I would be like, what? Did you forget?
That would weird you out.
I mean, I wasn't a regular.
I'm sure
like
you've
Nick,
done it,
but
yeah. It's not bad.
It was not crazy for me to not wear underwear.
In pants.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Sweatpants and shit like that, like, sure, rock out. It's one of the best feelings in the world. Jeans. I don't even like jeans when I have the underwear on.
You have to have like your best pair of underwear if you're wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Try to go none. Try to go once you figure things out.
Bro, literally, like, this is like, it's like a death trap for your fucking.
Dude, I was skateboarding to class, so just like this. it was just constant.
Dude, your fucking nuts were just bouncing around like a church bell.
Skateboarding though, I could see is better than walking because you like less friction.
But you're more swinging.
You're swinging.
Like when you're pushing, and then
you're stopping,
just
you're stopping.
bomb.
It is also embarrassing. I guess that's like an undercover size reveal for me that the head was rubbing against the zipper. I just accidentally size revealed.
Size reveal.
The tip of my dick was rubbing against the knees of my jeans.
Just like, yeah, apparently, like when your dick rubs against the top button of your jeans, it's bad.
Size reveal is also a funny term.
Did the I'm not gonna say what made me think of this, but one of my favorite clips in like Barstool history happened this weekend.
I don't think I saw anything because I was busy worrying about my dick and balls.
The Meek Phil thing?
Meek in the cave.
Wait, I want to know what made you think of it.
I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
But what made you think of it?
Go. Oh, people who like might have bacterias.
Oh, I thought you saw Meek Phil's dick.
No. It was earlier.
Wait,
go to my Twitter page. I quoted you the other night. If you haven't seen this, I'm so happy.
The Yankees game?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's unbelievably funny.
Wait, what game is it? It's game 2.
Game 2.
I think I was in the throes of, dick and balls pain. So
Wait, pause it, go to the beginning, and make sure the volume's down.
No.
It's the Teoscar Hernandez home.
No.
Plus 450, let's go! Let's go, gents! Plus 450 hit, let's go!
Your Arsenio Hall pump?
Yeah.
Plus 450, let's go!
With a giant teddy bear?
450 hit, let's go!
So good. Yo, Meek Phil is a star.
I'm subscribed to his X Premium tweets.
No way.
Yeah,
Wait, what are
$1.99 a
they?
month. Dude, it's just me and Quigs that are members, and it's just
Like in the whole world?
yes.
You didn't see that.
He has 2 subscribers,
That's so fucking funny.
and I always forget because I get like the payment every month. I'm like, how much is it? $1.99 a month, but it is just Quigs
You
tweeting.
and Quiggs are buying Meek Phil like a beer a month. That's great.
It's Quigs will just send him pictures of Ice Spice, and then you know how you can make yourself a dog on your phone, like the Animoji? It's just Meek Phil like growling.
Gotta see that.
I don't want to air out his premium content.
Well, speaking of that,
leaks,
my
no leaks.
other favorite clip from the weekend, this clip of Tommy. Tommy lets
bark?
out a bark.
Yeah.
That comes from his balls, dude.
It was a guttural, like caveman. Yeah.
Come on!
Here it goes. I think he hit the F on rough too.
Rough. But I think he started with like a U. And rough.
I actually shouldn't even say he barked. He said the word rough.
Yeah. Yes, dude. That rough. When he comes out of the cave, I mean, I have felt this, but he wears it on like his body. He comes out of the cave, his hair is fucked up. He's got like bags under his eyes, like fucking Aaron Judge. Like, did you get in a fight? Did somebody fight you in the cave?
Meek feels responsible for 90% of my favorite Barstool clips.
Yeah.
Yes. Who put this dog shit here? I watch once a week.
We have a Mets group chat, and I was texting him, and I said, for game 1, I said, be smart about your reaction for the Dodgers. Because at that point, I was like, the Dodgers are going to win this game somehow, some way. And I was like, it's the World Series. It's their stream. And Hubs has $50,000. Like, don't be our usual, like, asshole self, you know? And he was like, I'm already on the case. Like, I already thought about it. And the way he just ran away was so good.
Yeah.
Like, he ran like there was a fire.
He listened to you.
Out of here. Yeah.
That's why I think this one's unbelievable. But
and the teddy bear thing is so weird, by the way. Nobody knows what it is.
So the Mets sent you the teddy
No. So I was under the impression, Clever came to me and said, somebody sent something for the Mets aliens. Like, we're going to open it up together. And I was like, oh, cool. And I thought it was the Mets. I thought he said the Mets sent it. And he goes, no, this is just some random person. I was like, oh, okay. And we open it up, and it's this giant teddy bear that's like freeze-sealed or vacuum sealed. And it was a guy that Frank did one of his Frank walks with. And I asked Jenks, I was like, does he like make those for a living? Is he like a teddy bear manufacturer? I was like, I can't even figure out what that would mean, but maybe there's some sort of inside joke, like anything. Yeah. He works the knock down the milk cans with a ball, like, and he's like, nope, none of that.
It's just
so he just sent a fucking teddy bear. The note said like,
wait, the entire box was just one teddy bear?
Yeah.
So I saw the beginning of the clip where you guys are all huddled around the box, and that's a teddy bear.
It's a teddy bear. It was because it was freeze sealed,
but
vacuum sealed.
Why? What? Okay.
So and Frank opened it with a knife, which was the most terrifying. He was like pulling it out himself. I was like, oh my god! And then I cut open the I unvacuumed it, and it just went like one of those mattresses, and it was a teddy bear, and I was like, cool. This was like super anticlimactic. But now that Meek is running around town with it, like it's his girlfriend, it's like amazing.
The teddy bear had a shirt, and they took it off. I like held it up. I was like, oh, this is a cute shirt.
It was a little baby tee.
Yeah, someone was like, that's for the teddy bear.
I love the setup of this. Like Clemmer taking a knee. Yeah, this is a real.
I was doing 7. I was like, what's in the box? What's in the box? Frank singing his unboxing song. Took him quite a while. We thought we were gonna lose a finger or two. And I'm thinking like I thought it was gonna be from the Mets, like personalized jerseys with our names on it or something. At that point, I was like, "This what?" I literally don't know what it is. I was like, "It's just a big brown like blah."
The perfect thing about the Meek reactions are like he's not, at least how it appears to me, like he's not being a troll. He just had he had Teoscar Hernandez plus 450 to go deep, and he stood up excited, and then realized, oh yeah, I'm in the middle of a Yankees street.
Right back down.
Sat back down. Look, yeah, there's a little baby tee.
Yeah. I like now if I have like any kind of
Mets
like
loss, we're gonna put that on you.
Yeah. If I have like any kind of like win or like something goes well in my head, I think like we're fucking on the Mets bed tonight.
Well, the only person who had a better stream reaction than him was her.
Yeah, what were you doing here?
She was working the stream.
But everyone asked, like they're like, why are you here? And it's because you guys all know me as content, but I am a producer at the end of the day.
Yeah, she was like the person watching the stream.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but I didn't realize I was like in the background of all of these. When that happened, my first thought was like when it was like 1 out and he lost like the 44,000. I was like, that's some Kevin shit right there.
I was very proud of you. It's like because as much as I hate the Yankees, like first of all, you just don't want to be the total asshole who's rubbing it in your face. And when someone lost $50,000, that sucks.
I
actually texted Hubs. I said, I almost felt bad about the Yankees losing for the first time in my life.
That means a lot.
Yeah, I was like, that's a testament to our friendship that like you actually, made me for 1 second not enjoy that. But Jackie going like this, and then she kind of looks around like, oh shit.
It was.
But yeah, after that's subsided, I'm relishing, loving this, loving.
Do you want them to get swept? Yes. Yeah. You wouldn't want them to come back and then lose game 7?
I mean, I guess no. I would rather than be like you couldn't even. At least we took it to them a couple times and put a little bit of fear in them. You guys, you didn't play real baseball for like a month, and now you got fucking smoked by a real baseball team.
Have you watched The Comeback yet?
No, I wasn't. So this is a new thing.
Yes.
Okay. I saw your the thing like you gotta remind me about Vicodin or something like that.
Oh yeah. It's like that was like before game 5 or 4, before game 4, where like he's like, you gotta go take care of that ankle. He's like, screw the ankle, I just gotta take Vicodin. Dude, it is.
Yeah, that's great. I gotta watch it. I didn't know it was new. Dude, I thought people were like kind of just reminiscing because it's this time of year. I didn't know that it was.
It's a 20th anniversary, so Netflix has a new documentary. It's a 3-parter. First part is the 03 season, so that ends with the Boone home run.
Cool.
Second part, they're all about an hour. Second part is the 03 to 04 off season and the 04 regular season. And then the third part is the series itself. Dude, and like obviously everything take it with a grain of salt because like I don't follow sports as much as I did then. I lived and breathed for that. Like that was the ultimate. But like I'm watching it and it is some real like old man shit where I'm like it was just different back then.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to.
Dude, like the 03 offseason, the names that moved and like the shit that went down, like I was thinking like this offseason, like people were like, who's gonna get Jordan Montgomery, whoever the fuck that is. Dude, that offseason, Schilling, Sheffield, Manny, A-Rod, Nomar, all on the move at either some ended up coming back, some trades ended up working out, but like all these guys were moving. All of them were going to 2 teams.
Yeah,
it was
a
literal
arms
race of all time. Yep. They talk about 2 a.m. meetings with A-Rod in the hotel rooms while fucking Nomar's still on the team. Like
that got shut down by the commissioner, right?
MLBPA.
Right.
PA. They didn't like what they was going to do to A-Rod's contract. But like everyone's involved except my only criticism of it, and it's a light one because you can only mention the guy so much if he clearly didn't want to be involved in it, is Manny's like not really talked about. I mean, a little bit, but like he's more of like he was kind of like kind of an uneasy teammate, whereas like he's the World Series MVP.
Yeah,
he's fucking Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, that's a big miss, but the rest of those guys.
But like
fucking
Theo's in it, Hoyer, Joe Torre, like.
Verisek in it?
Tech's in it. Oh yeah, they're like
him and his wife are awesome.
It's so cool. And also one of the crazy things that's revealed in it, at least either I forgot about it or never even heard of it, is after Game 2 at Yankee Stadium, the Red Sox found microphones in the locker room.
Oh.
And it's like Schilling and Pedro were talking about it.
I promise you that was not a thing out there because I would have hammered.
Yeah.
I would have never stopped talking about that.
I think Schilling is the one who starts it.
Holy shit, that was awesome.
Where like Schilling starts it where he's like, after Game 2, I'm looking around. He's like, I know what a microphone looks like. He's like, at this time, I've done interviews. I know what a microphone looks like. I look up and it's just hanging from the ceiling, and I pull it out. And he's like, and then he like pulls up his mic pack. He's like attached to the same thing, red light running, lapel mic just hanging there.
In the Bronx, this is
in the Bronx, yeah.
In the away locker room.
In the away locker room, and then it cuts to Torrey, and like clearly he had been asked about it, and it's been 20 years. You'd think he'd at least have like some kind of game plan. It was like.
Froze up.
He's like, if there was a microphone, like we weren't getting any benefit from it. Like it was like, oh, you guys were fucking mic. You guys were mic in locker rooms. That's what changed the whole fucking series. Is that you didn't know what the pitcher was going to do that night.
Yeah. Holy shit.
But it's all
makes it all the more sweet that it was like dirty fucking war and you guys won.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so and there's obviously a huge nostalgia factor. Dude, I forgot that fucking Game 6 they played the last 2 innings with the riot police on the field. Dude,
what? Everybody started throwing shit
with the riot cops.
Oh,
so after
on
A-Rod,
the field?
Yeah, after A-Rod whacks the ball out of the hand and he's called out of Arroyo's hand. He's called out.
What a moment that was.
The Bronx, they start fucking throwing bottles and stuff on the field, so they clear the fields. And then they bring out like riot police who sit right there.
Wow.
The scroll past the down lower. Right there to the left. There's like they were lining the whole. They didn't go into the warning track, but they lined the entire.
The warning track would be nuts.
Yeah, that'd be so awesome.
Like the whole foul area.
Yeah, because people do not realize like it was a war. like you could get beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's not like it is now. Like there's no rivalry like it left in sports, but I also think people, I don't know, maybe because people
put
are
in Game 6 up there.
Maybe people are filming too much now, and people are not like as like emboldened. But like there would be bar fights and like stadium fights like every single fucking time.
Dude, like, look at that top picture of Damon. I just didn't. No, scroll up. I'm where you were earlier. Nope. Yeah. Scroll up. No.
Up, scroll up. Oh.
Yeah. Like that's him on deck.
Yeah,
Is
that's
this surrounded by
those
cops?
guys with like batons and guns and shit. It's not exactly the easiest fucking.
That's
setting
fucking
to play.
insane. That's like 1950s English football stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The riot police were just lining the fucking field while we played baseball.
I told the story before, but it was one of my when I was at Fordham in 03, and whoever won the divisional series last, so now we knew the matchup was set. It was like the Yankees had already advanced, and the Red Sox like clinched. So now it's like we know the ALCS is going to be played between the two.
Yeah.
Or however that worked out. And there was like a full blown rally, like riot on campus. Like a bunch of people started chanting like "Let's go Yankees" because they clinched or whatever. And there's a big Boston contingency at Fordham at the time, and they kind of like were walking back to the dorms, and they start chirping, and all of a sudden like there's two very big groups of people, like, 5 feet from each other. They're doing their chants. The people at the front lines are like talking shit. And I watched this dude. His name was Nate, I'm pretty sure. He had a broomstick because he got out. Maybe somebody had just swept because there was a broom out where they said, "We're going to sweep you." And he broke the broomstick. So it was like, it had like a jagged edge. And I watched him like run around to gain steam and ran and like jumped into the Yankees crowd, like swinging
with a fucking spear.
It's like basically a spear, and then it was just all out brawl, and it was the series had not yet started. And it was like none of the dramatics had happened yet. It was just like we're gonna play again. That was truly like a don't you can go to another stadium wearing like. You could wear Yankee shit.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't really not.
That
Or you could do
year-
it, but like be prepared.
That year, I went to a game at Yankee Stadium. I went to a Pedro Star at Yankee Stadium. My whole family, and my dad was like, "No one wear any Yankees gear, any
just-
Sox gear. Like,
yeah.
there's no point." We were like up in the 300s. He was like, "There's no point.
It will
in this.
be a problem.
Just like don't wear T-shirts, wear whatever."
When Boone hit the home run, I was at the bar. It was me, my brother, and a Mets fan. We're rooting for the Red Sox, hate the Yankees. Crack of the bat, I know it. I just grabbed our pitcher of beer and I fill everybody up, just like let's drown our sorrows. And my buddy, who was a Red Sox fan, or who was a Yankees fan, like I just won, threw the first punch. Just punched a Red Sox fan in the face. And a brawl ensued, and I was like, "You won, dude!" I mean, it was all like, I miss,
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's
so,
one of those things where,
so
like-
dumb, and you can get people hit their fucking head on the ground, you can die, it's like terrible, but also it's so awesome.
Like it's all like it's a different era. You say it's better, you can say it's worse, and I'm sure it was different in generations before me. But like I forgot that the Sox in the 03 season like hated Manny because Manny got drinks with not Nestor Cortez. He's currently on the team. I forget someone on the Yankees, and he got like a beer at their hotel. And
During the series?
During the season. It was like during
Got
the 03, like
it.
it was a regular season game.
Yeah.
And I believe that might have been the postseason. It actually might have been the 03 postseason. And like the players hated each other. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Veritek and A-Rod were like, they fucking hated it. Pedro throwing Don Zimmer to the ground.
yeah, I forgot. Dude, I thought that was a regular season game. That was in the ALCS.
That was the postseason?
That was in the ALCS.
It was so great, man. So good. What do girls have that's anything considered, like even remotely close to like getting violent over sports? Is there anything that compares? Just like
getting violent over.
boys?
I'm gonna set women back again, but no.
Like just making fun of each other till you have an eating disorder because like you took the boy that I liked or something like that?
No, not because I took the. I don't know. Drama. Just
I would say I think like
Theirs is probably always just more
reality-
warranted. Like it's always something that happened to them in,
In
their
real
real
life.
life.
Yeah. I will say that ours is probably like
More reasonable.
it is like in the crazy thing of it all is like it probably is a lot more reasonable.
Yeah.
When you guys get angry about stuff.
That is funny when we're like, girls are so fucking irrational and emotional. It's like you just punched the television because like your parlay didn't hit.
Because your 7-leg $10 parlay.
Yeah.
Well, do you mean,
$10
like,
to win like 300.
punching another girl or punching a television?
I would
'cause
imagine
I could
you
see,
would
like-
punch a girl before you'd punch a television.
But like if I can't find an outfit, like if I've tried on like a bunch of clothes and I'm like just nothing, like this
You'll punch
today
a
I had a
bitch?
melt, or like this weekend I had a meltdown. I was like, I fucking hate Halloween. There's nothing fucking to wear. Everything looks dumb. Like that, I would punch a. Like I wouldn't actually,
like
but I
punch a
could
wall or
see myself
something?
doing that more than like.
Well, with those
punching
hands.
another-
Oh, do you have paws?
No.
This girl.
They're so dainty.
Fucking iron stone hands.
Wait, raise your hand really quick.
I really don't want to. Also,
You're
the-
trying to hide them and like 80% still popping out.
I also like I talked about. I have just like an issue with like there's basically like how I have like just calluses on my hands.
What were you about to compare your hands to?
to the good tip?
Giving Nick hand jobs. The callus is causing.
But so then I was
Iron
going
sharpens
for a
iron,
hand
baby.
mask, right? Like I was talking about, I was gonna buy some hand masks, $5 a piece. This shit's
Inflation,
gonna
man.
financially take me out this winter. Like I can't. Anyways, that's just the update on them.
Get up.
We're going to get through this.
Yeah.
You got your hands. I got weird shit going on. We've all got our stuff. Let's do some voicemails and we'll let Nick get out of here.
I have nothing else.
Today's voicemails are brought to you by Green Lumber. These are men's supplements and vitamins that you can feel actually kicking in, so you feel like you're in your early 20s again. You know, there's all these vitamins and shots and chewies and gummies and all these things that you take, and it's like, I don't even know if anything's working. Maybe it's a placebo effect. I don't know. Green Lumber, you actually feel the effects. They are packed with premium ingredients to push you to peak performance naturally. You don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to worry about a prescription. You have natural fuel that goes hard. It rewinds the clock. It rewinds the time in the bedroom. You go full send. So they have the Daily Offense, which is the capsules with the nitric oxide boost. Keeps your blood pumping. Gives you the energy. There's no crashes. You work all day long. And so taking your vitamins has never been so good. Plus, they got you covered on prostate support, gut health, the full package of everything to keep your system firing like a well-oiled machine. They got discreet 2-day shipping, and you're back in the game by Friday night, ready for the weekend to go. So order it now. Go to Green Lumber. They'll never let you down. Get some today. Keep it up. Buy now at greenlumber.com/Barstool to get free 2-day shipping on your first order. Unless do you have anything else you want to?
No.
Yeah.
I do not want to be here during the vote.
Are you going to vote?
No.
What's up, gang? So, a few months ago,
Those
I
shades are
promoted and got a senior level management position with my company. What comes with that is getting put on probation for 6 months, just to determine your good fit, handle that level of management, all that fun stuff. So, standard, I'm like, no problem.
I don't think that's.
But
No, he
about
did something.
2 months in, the person who promoted me left, new boss comes in. I had worked with her in the past, around my age, decent rapport, all that fun stuff. So, she had a boyfriend, really bad accident, left arm amputated, left leg amputated, all sorts of shit that went along with that. So she was telling me about how recovery, when he got the colostomy bag taken away, then just all sorts of gastro stuff like dry heaving, things like that. And so me, not thinking, asks her, well, do you have a gag reflex? Like, what's your gag reflex like? With the intention of like, are you a sympathetic gagger? Like, because sometimes if you hear someone puking, then you're like, bleh, it's gonna make you puke. Didn't think of that, and she just kind of looks at me like, what was that? I'm like, no. I meant like, do you start to puke too then? And just, it worked out well. I'm still employed, did not get fired, so that's good. But awful. And so it made me think, what is a time you guys have put your foot in your mouth in a situation, perfectly innocent question, no bad intentions, but you just really stepped in it. So thanks, look forward to hearing
This
answers.
whole thing is a trip, man.
He was like, I can't get fired. I just bought these new sunglasses.
I don't think like preemptive probation is like a thing. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that man's a risk.
Yeah.
And he's talking to like a half woman.
Oh my god.
He didn't even have to say it. He could have just been like, I asked if like, a girl had a gastro. He had to bring up that she was
losing all of her limbs. I guess when you, also, like, if you lose an arm and a leg, that doesn't necessarily mean you need a colostomy bag, do you?
Maybe just while she was recovering, it made sense.
Wait, it was her husband who had it all, right? Or her boyfriend? Or was it happened to her?
Oh, so she was hearing the husband puke.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how. That's what I think. Maybe I misheard it.
Here's the thing. We've talked about, there's a lot of words that porn has ruined. Like, gag reflex is no longer, I mean, that's a porn thing. You know what I mean? That's a dick-sucking phrase now. Even the word like gag.
I say it a lot for a guy who doesn't suck dick. I'm like, I got a terrible gag reflex.
But every time you say it, we're thinking about like you sucking dick. You know?
Like every time, I hear you gag a lot.
A lot.
I'm just like, he could never handle a big dick.
Yeah.
That's like my first thought when I hear you gagging.
The out and about guys are like, ugh.
What guys?
I eat a lot of popsicles.
I told you I've thrown up on a dick.
and then wait, finish the story because it's ridiculous, right? Didn't he like comment on your
he
diet?
was like, "Do you not chew?" Because it was like such big chunks.
Yo, I forgot about the audacity. It's like this girl is doing things that no girl should really ever do, but because porn has ruined the world, she's gonna go out there and give you. 100%. And then you have the audacity to be like, I think you need to chew 30 times before swallowing.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I remember my grandfather was in the Navy, and he used to always tell us that, like, in the Navy, they used to make him watch him eat, like, when you first got in. And I forget the exact number, but, like, you could only take bites that you could swallow in, like, 10 chews or something like that. And he wasn't, like, militaristic about it with us, but he'd be like, you're chewing too much. You gotta take smaller bites. You're gonna throw up on a dick one day, son. You don't want them to be able to identify the chicken nuggets.
Were you drunk?
No.
Oh no.
And I was like, after like I cleaned up, I was like, do you want me to
finish
the job? I was like, sorry. Anyways, I was like, we don't have to keep doing, like, you don't have to keep talking to me.
That was it? It was over?
No. Then
no, I'm sure. He was like, you can come out. Let's clean up and you can come back tomorrow.
Yeah, he was a good sport about it, but like.
Good sport about it. It's like,
I was like,
you like impaled yourself with his dick.
Yeah, but then like, it kind of like ruined blowjobs for him because like every time I would gag, he'd be like,
yo, you gave this man PTSD. The rest of the blowjobs, the rest of his life, he's like, this one time.
I'd be like, just sit back and enjoy. Oh my god. Anyways, wait, what were we talking about before?
I don't remember anything.
My entire life. All started like 5 minutes ago.
To answer this question, no, one time, like, for a teacher, like, I, in high school, like, I had like a B+, and I, like, really wanted to get to an A. And I had...
Was it the same guy?
But I had sent an email being like, and it didn't even occur to me that it would be, and I was like, I will literally do anything. Like, it was, and so he didn't respond back, and I had told my mom, I was like, what, like, was it bad that I sent this? And she was like, yeah, are you trying to fuck this man? Like, and I was
Did she say that to you?
No, she didn't, but she was like, okay,
you understand
for the record, I think that he probably thinks that you are offering something to him. And I was like, oh, anyway, I felt really weird. He definitely did. Yeah,
of course he did that. Yeah,
he definitely did too, because like, it was like pretty awkward. And he was kind of cute.
Are you offended that he did not reply? Because I would be.
What, you're not a pedophile, dude?
Yeah,
right?
Wait, you're not a pedophile, you little pussy?
Listen.
You want to fuck a young girl?
Yeah, but, at that point, like, the world hadn't come out, the Me Too shit probably hadn't started.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, man, wait a minute. I'm a college girl offering to fuck you.
Yeah. It was fine back then.
What year in high school?
Senior.
Wait,
it was high school, not college?
It's high school.
Oh, that is okay. That
makes it worse.
That is pedophile.
It was,
I was like,
that's
not
like,
pedophile. That's pedophile.
Kind of cute too. So it really made it seem like I was. Anyways, I learned my lesson then.
Also, be happy with the B+.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Yeah, that's really fucking annoying.
Because I was kind of a good student. I wasn't that good. But like,
I mean, I fucked all my teachers again. All my teachers would reply to my request for extra credit. I'll do literally anything.
The way that reads to him is probably I'll literally do anything. He's probably like, I will literally do anything.
Yeah, that's how he's reading it.
Yeah.
Are you a good student?
No.
No?
No.
Interesting. Like, what kind of grades did you get?
Like C's and B's. Was not a good student. Didn't do homework or study.
Yo, by the way, real quick, homework? Fuck that.
Wait, what's it like now?
I'm just talking about the institution of homework.
Oh, okay.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's like a pretty lukewarm take. I feel like everyone.
Did you hear about KFC? He's anti-homework.
I'm not talking about like being like you're saying from the point of view like you don't like doing homework, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying like as a parent now, I'm like abolish homework altogether. That's your fucking job.
Yeah.
To teach them this shit at school. I have a job. You have a job. Your job is to teach my kid this shit. I come home from my job. I want to just hang out with my fucking kid. I just want to like live my life. I'm not going to do your fucking job for you that apparently you couldn't fit during the fucking workday.
I would have
or
like
decided
an hour
to just
every
offer
night.
more. Fuck yeah. Fuck that.
Oh, I would have like 4 hours.
I wasn't a good student.
Okay, yeah.
But like that's genuinely like
No,
in school I was just like you just do this. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, why the fuck should I have to do this? And also part of it is because I can't do the math that they do, and like some of the answers I'm like.
There's no chance I could do long division. I think by third grade I cannot help anymore.
Bro, you would be. Your mind would be blown by the way they teach like addition and subtraction. It's just like
change the whole
line the fucking numbers up, add up this column, add up that column. Nope, you got to break out the 10s and the 5s, and you got to count with this line and circle these, draw like hash marks and da 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 da. And I was like, this is madness. So fucking, if you want to do it that way, fine. Teach them on your fucking clock at your job, not on my time. Fuck that.
I feel like every year there's like something that goes viral of like a teacher sending a letter home for young students, for like young elementary, where it's like, I don't assign homework. Spend time with your kids. Like that, and everyone's like, this is how teaching should work. So I don't know how much that's progressed into society, but like on the internet, once a year there's like everyone should be like this.
Those people.
Because like I remember seeing a note 1 or 2 times where like the teacher even explains themselves and like they're like whatever you do spending time with your kids is healthier than them learning like their cursive letters or something like that. Like do that.
Memorizing like flashcards and like shit like that. It's like get the fuck out of here.
Like I get homework maybe like once you're in high school or something like that, but even that I kind of don't.
I don't.
Most
like,
people when you go to
go
work
home and study.
Do you go academics here, and then you do like sports there. You do home at home. Like, I don't get it.
It is. I'm
I can maybe understand. You have to read. Like there's a list
summer
of
reading.
Books. Yeah, summer reading.
Science fair was
finish
fun.
These books by this date or whatever. But like, do like these 50 math problems. Like, and there were just random days. I remember in high school, sometimes it would be like, all right, you have to do like page 253 like tonight. And sometimes it would be like, I don't know, like 12 math problems. And sometimes it'd be like 60. And it's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. It's all madness. It's all just made up.
Are they still doing science fairs with the boards and everything?
I don't. My kids are still in second and first grade, so I don't know if that's like there yet. I don't know if. Wait, what do you mean? What is that? What's a science fair with the boards?
Like you have the big cardboard things with the project you stand in front of and deliver a.
Those are fun.
That was a blast. I went undefeated on them, first place 4 years in a row. Yeah, but I was in West Virginia at a Catholic school with like 12 kids.
What were your projects?
This was for science. I went to Cleveland to a bat mitzvah, and I went back and reported my findings at this little Catholic. It's a picture of young me, and I made a little tiny Torah and had it like sitting on there because like nobody knew what that shit was. And so
you're an explorer.
Yeah, you're like a crusade. Like I've returned from the new world. I bring
unscathed.
I bring word
so like
of
my
the
science,
Jews.
like it won like clean sweep. There was like not only was this brave. Like I think my board just said Judaism because like the priests were the judges. for the science fair, and like my principal was a nun. Yeah, and they were just like, "This is like what you really did the thing."
I'm surprised they weren't like, like keep that out of here. We don't spread that word. The Lord and Jesus is our savior.
Those murderers.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever did one of those though. I've definitely done science projects, but I don't think I had the whole like.
Oh, dude, I
did. I did. You know what? The only fight I ever got in was right before I think kind of what you're talking about. I like 8th grade. We had like a Jets and the Sharks, like fucking.
Your Kevin, group that's a musical.
Yeah. But because it was like we thought we were so tough, and that was like the only time I've ever like thrown and landed a punch, and the only time I really also got my ass kicked. Because I got in a fight with a kid whose nickname was Animal.
Oh no!
And I didn't even have problems with any of them, but it was like the two guys who like were at the center of it fought, and then everyone just kind of grabbed whoever was near them.
This is over a science project?
No, it was the same. It was like after school it happened, and then that night was like the science fair.
Oh,
and we all
I thought
showed
you were
up.
saying like we know the science fair, but
we fought.
No, but we all showed up
like a dork.
Like I had like a swollen nose. One kid had a black eye, and then we all walk in, and our science teacher was like, "What the fuck happened here?"
I did it in 5th grade. I got E. coli, and I spent like a month in the hospital.
Jesus.
And while I was there, it was like by the time you like. By November or whatever, December, you had to have this science project ready. And I was in the hospital like the whole month. And my dad, like, he would come in and he'd help me, but like he was doing a lot of it. Like I was a sick kid. and I went to school and I presented it, and then like 3 girls in my class got their parents involved, and then they went to the principal and they were like,
not saying like his dad's doing the work,
petitioning it.
Oh my God.
For my grade to not count because my dad did it.
Fuck
and I was
that.
like,
What?
I was like, I mean, you're right. He did a lot of it. Like I read the books and I told him where to put things, but yeah, like it looked really good. It looked like an adult man put together a child's presentation.
Yeah, it's a dead giveaway when it's good.
I was like, I've been in the hospital. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it ended up becoming like a big thing at the school. Like, Feitelberg's plagiarizing and having his parents do the work for him. Really.
But it's also like, no fucking
I've
kidding.
been in the hospital for a month, dude.
I mean, any project that looks even like remotely good, it's like the parents did it.
Yeah.
You're asking like 7 and 8-year-olds
All
to do
the
the
projects
stuff.
the
Like,
parents do.
Yeah, it's every single one.
I remember I had one. It was like like a Oregon Trail sort of thing, and like my mom like made a covered wagon and like made a journal. She burnt the edges of the paper. She literally had like fire and burning the edges. Like I was like 9.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think I did this.
My dad, like my dad's a good artist, and he like drew like he drew an orangutan that looked really good, and they were like, "You didn't even draw that."
Redo.
No,
clearly
shit.
I didn't, dude.
Yeah. But like you presented it, like it was half yours, dude. I remember when I won mine; it was my most embarrassing moment because my parents were like, "This was a good project. You can go to the state science fair. It's like at the college by us, and it's the whole state." And we found out the Judaism one, okay. And my project was the only one in that category. So they're like, "It's a guaranteed win. You're going to go to nationals, get a scholarship," and I go there, and right before I present, I'm in middle school. I'm like down by the creek, and I fell in, and so I'm covered in mud, and I have to like go in and present covered in mud.
Wait, what?
I fell in a creek.
I mean, you could have given me a million guesses. I was never going to land.
So
on
I go out there, I present, and then it's like that evening, and this is when they're awarding everything, and they're like, "All right, the next category is religion," and they're presenting, and they said in second place, Nick Turani. I didn't meet the point threshold for first place, so I had to go on stage with a podium, only guy on it,
nobody else,
and accept my silver medal,
unopposed,
covered in mud, unopposed, second place out of 1. And my parents like clapped. What? They have a picture of me on a podium, like because I wasn't a child with many achievements, so that was like one of them of just me on the second second highest on a podium alone.
No one on the podium.
That's a villain origin story right there. It's a miracle you're not a serial killer. What do you mean you didn't meet the point threshold? What is that?
So like they award you on like presentation, your speech, the board, the time.
So you're covered in mud.
I think mud probably had a thing to do with it. It was the most mad my mom's ever been at me because I just got a new pair of corduroys. and I like you had to have like 40 points for gold, and I was like at 33. Like,
oh my god,
that's crazy.
Nightmare on a stage around like everybody's.
When people say we're the participation trophy generation, you tell them that story. For real. They gave me second place in a one-man contest.
One time I was just saying this. I got -8 on a quiz.
Did you forget your name?
No, she was just like, you got it really wrong.
I was so like, wrong.
So a 0. So give me a 0 then.
Give me a 0. And like somehow she agreed. I was like, you can't go into the negatives. It was like deep in the negatives too. It was like a 12-point test.
You're like Miss Simpson. I'll do anything to get this up 0.
Just give me a 0.
All the other teachers let me suck dick.
I'm so desperate for a 0.
I've never fucked a woman, but
sucking dick for a 0 would be the most low anybody's ever been.
It's right there with second place on a one-man challenge. You see Corinna Kopf retired from OnlyFans?
Oh, yeah.
$67 million in 3 years. She retired from OnlyFans.
That's a good haul.
People were comparing it to like.
Was she having like sex on camera? What was her content?
You said that.
I've never.
As if you've never heard of sex. Was that
intercourse? I think that if I had to guess, it was probably like solo stuff.
Okay.
I actually have no idea. She could have just been doing pictures for all I know. I don't want to put that on her reputation.
Insane.
67 in 3 years. So people were like comparing it to like sports contracts, being like, that final like 3-year deal for Dwight Howard never really panned out, but like Corinna Kopf got $67 million. You should. I mean,
I'm sucking dick for 0.
$67 million. I'll let you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I don't even know who she is. I thought she was an older person.
No, she's like a.
She's part of like the David Dobrik.
I was gonna say the Logan Paul crew, but
I don't know anything about. Does she like also make other content?
I think she's a vlogger.
I thought she was.
She's Glenny's like number 1. I know that.
there was like a kind of just like a hot person back in the day, like Julie, began with a K. It was like Kramer maybe or something like that. She'd be like a guess that ass all the time. I thought these were the same person.
No, yeah, she's just a young like streamer, whatever personality.
Who shockingly became a Trump fan.
Smile he does. Put that down.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Why? Fuck you, dude.
Who's this?
That's David Dobrik. I just know him because he tongue smiles. I fucking hate him. I don't know anything he does.
Just the tongue smile. Yeah, no, 67 mil though. That's the sort of shit that would really make me like really consider things if I was a girl. Now this girl's very pretty and very famous, so like you're not gonna make 67 million. But like, I don't know. There's a certain level where I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. I really think I would. I really mean that. Like,
I don't. I mean, I
think like it's depending on my parents and shit like that. I'd like try to figure it out, but I'd be like, I'm definitely gonna give this a whirl.
I think
at least see what you can get away with before you really compromise yourself.
It right? Just gives me a weird feeling.
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna say it's the best thing, but if you could make 67 million and make like your dreams come true, live the life you want. Donate money, like do like I mean that's enough money to do whatever.
That's better.
You want.
That's better than any hockey player. Like your kid wants to play hockey, like try getting hot.
To make that much money, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, they'd have to play hockey for 6.7 years.
Yeah. right.
If you told me right now, and obviously I don't have anything against it by any stretch of the imagination, but like if you told me right now, like if you post like kind of racy pics for 3 years, you'll get 67 million. I don't think I'd do it.
Well, you're fucking dumb.
I'd be like, I just don't want to do that.
Bro, if there was some I don't want to put myself out there for ridicule.
It's not even the ridicule. I would for when people want something so bad, I just inherently don't want to give it to them.
Yeah, well, like with the Findom guy, like I don't. He just gives me money when I ask for it, but I'm like, I don't feel like talking to him, and like I don't feel like.
Yeah, but you were making $100 a pop.
Yeah, that's
you're a terrible businesswoman.
So true.
If you were making $100,000 a pop, I think it was a little different.
But
I was gonna do it, and then I got a rash on my dick. So
yeah, right. Now, like that would be like more curious. Just like, now's the perfect time to have like a sale.
Mine's just a medical page. They bring in people like, "What's your diagnosis? We've never seen this in the Western world." Like,
if you want to scrub your
penis?
No.
Your searches
Google
are-
searches. Like,
I was thinking
that
scrub a different way.
No.
Oh, God. Let's do one more, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Longtime fan. Jackie's killing it. Y'all doing great. Hey, got a couple things I wanted to say. A couple episodes ago, John was talking about switches, power switches, for like a door or something. Anyway, I'm an electrical engineer, and he is 100% right on how switches work. His logic was spot on. So good job, John. Got to give you your flowers there, bud. Secret genius. And then the other day, a couple episodes before that, y'all were talking about Helen Keller for some reason. I'm from Alabama. I actually live in the town now where Helen Keller's from. She lives like 6 blocks from me. Her house and my house is really close. And so every year they have a parade for Helen Keller, and they have an impersonator come.
Oh my God.
It's like an honor, I guess, to do this play. And then they have a parade. It's the cringiest thing in the world.
Do they do like the...
Yeah, right.
I grew up in like...
Wait, pause it, because what was going through your head when you...
I didn't know Helen Keller was Southern.
Yeah,
Alabama is crazy.
A deaf Southern accent is the funniest thing. Like a real twang to the moans. That has to sound horrible.
Dude, I actually had a different take on her being Southern, where I was like, I've always kind of been like, people were like, she couldn't learn to read. She couldn't. I'm like, I don't know. I guess she figured it out somehow. Like, now I believe she never actually learned to read.
No,
she's from Alabama.
No, that's the dead giveaway.
It's not the that you don't have half of your senses. Yeah. It's that you're from south of the Mason-Dixon line.
It's like Selena Meyer in Veep when she goes Alabama first in the alphabet, last in every other fucking thing.
Have you guys ever done a deep dive in Helen Keller?
I mean, I've had a long-standing joke, but not so joke that I don't think it's real.
There's no way.
Like if this story came out today, everyone would be like, "This is a hoax and you're grifting for sympathy." There's just no way this is a real thing. It's just not real.
It just can't be.
Wait, also, if you're like a Helen Keller impersonator, it's kind of like if you don't have any talent or anything, like
it's
that's a pretty
perfect.
good job.
It's perfect.
Why don't you do an impression?
Why
don't we all go around and give our best impression?
All right. She was super sexually repressed. There was like this article I read, like she showed interest in like wanting to have sex, and they shot that down so bad. Which is like, if I were blind and deaf, I would be constantly beating off. Constantly beating off. She never even like give her that.
Let
so
her
like
get
Kyle
down,
and I were talking like, if a time machine ever gets invented, I'm getting Helen Keller a dildo. Going back and like get Helen a dildo.
Let her live, dude. Yeah.
She's blind and deaf.
Just
That's the
put it in
one
her
pleasure
hand,
she can't
just
experience.
guide it in.
And she didn't even get that.
I mean, it's just not a real. It's not a real. Actually, speaking of Haktua earlier, she had a clip where she goes, "I thought that Helen Keller flied an airplane." So she's mixing up Amelia Earhart and Helen Keller.
That's fair.
And I think me and you were talking about it, or somebody, like there's random people in history that's like, we all learned about Helen Keller and Amelia Earhart. Why?
Yeah,
we
like
all
Amelia-
know those two like random fucking people.
I think
It's like not a good look for a woman.
There's a real shortage of historical women.
Yeah.
Just because a woman probably did something, we're like, oh, this one wrecked a plane?
She's dead? Let's talk about her. All right, wait, let's finish this off.
Part of Alabama around Mobile, where Mardi Gras was from, I can't stand Mardi Gras. It's an unpopular opinion, but it's just too much. But in the town I actually grew up in, Daphne, Alabama, there's this thing called a Jubilee. It happens there, and one other place in the world, maybe Japan or like Africa. I'm not sure where.
Sounds like fucking Anchorman, right?
100% real.
Brazilian or
But
Japanese?
fish
I don't
will
know.
swim on shore, and they don't. I mean, they know why. It's the oxygen level and the tides, but it's random. They don't know when they'll do it, and thousands of fish, flounder, blue crab, shrimp, will just swim on shore, perfectly healthy, nothing wrong with them. Google it. It's the craziest thing. But my question to y'all is:
That's not part of the
is
question.
there something from your hometown or where you live now that everybody loves or is like a big deal, and you're just like, I don't really care, whatever, I'm over it? Or is there something from your hometown or the area you're from that's like your party conversation starter. Like you don't really know how to talk to somebody, so you're like,
I mean, it's,
hey, let me tell you about this Jubilee.
It's fucking
it should be on
sausage
National
in your town,
Geographic.
right?
Nobody knows
sausage
what it is.
Charisse.
I always hear about that.
Portuguese Charisse. Yeah, I mean, Portuguese Charisse is unbelievable. But the answer is Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lizzie Borden's from Fall River, Mass.
She was a witch?
No, she killed her parents.
She was a ghost.
Is that what Ring Around the Rosie's about or something like
no,
that?
that's
about the
Lizzie
plague.
Borden took an axe, gave her
That's
mother
the
40
that's
whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
And now then she's a ghost, right? Or no?
I don't think that.
I mean,
it's haunting. Yeah, I guess yes,
Do
definitively.
people go to the house? Is there
people
like
go to the house? Is like the Fall River Historical Museum. I think the house. I think it was the house the murders are in is a museum. The house she then lived
I think
in.
she kind of earned it.
But like I've never done any of it.
Oh,
Like-
yeah, okay.
like-
That's like I've never gone to the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
that,
Statue
like-
of Liberty and all that.
I feel like that's what you're saying. He's like you're kind of over it. Like I've never done any of the Lizzie Borden stuff, but like it's a. I wouldn't say it's a major part of like like Fall River education. Like it's definitely mentioned, but it's not a big thing. But they've made like a ton of movies and TV shows, and I think Kristen Stewart did a movie about it recently. She was found innocent.
Whoa, she didn't actually do it?
Yeah, I think it's like she 1000% did it.
Oh.
But I think it's an OJ type deal. But she was definitely found innocent.
I mean, I've never done. Actually, doing the rat race with Clemmer was like the most I've ever done in New York City.
Wow.
I did the Empire State Building when my father worked there. That was the only reason I've ever done that. I've never done the Statue of Liberty. I've only been to Central Park like a couple times. I don't know if I've ever been to the museums. I'm also just uncultured swine. But it's also just like, I'd rather just go home tonight than do any of these things.
I come from somewhere where there's nothing.
Yeah. It's so crazy that you're from there. I would just never.
There's just nothing.
Yeah.
We have Moondog.
Is your family still down there?
Yeah, they're still there.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We popped into the Burger King.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, on the island.
Yeah.
The island's
Like
bad.
under the overpass?
Yeah. The island's bad.
Island?
Yeah.
There's an island?
In the river. It has the casino on it, and my high school football field. I didn't play high school football.
The football field is on an island in the river.
Yeah,
Hey, what's the problem?
it's a bad part of town.
That's crazy.
There's a strip club across the street, and then we went into the Burger King, and like we all had to pee, and they gave you a spatula.
Yeah.
Oh,
And like, is the key the spatula? And like,
Hang on, let me just flip this burger real
So
quick.
it's right across the street from Godfather Part 2.
Oh, what do you mean?
That's the name of the strip club.
Oh, that's the name of the strip club?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good name.
Is that like the one?
Well, no, there's Godfather 1.
Stupid
Well, don't
question.
be ridiculous,
Stupid question
Kevin.
by me.
But the sequel is better. But you won't understand the tits unless you go to the first one first.
All right.
I love that call. Also, by the way, I feel like we glossed over the fact that I fucking nailed that electrical door situation.
Yeah. What was it? It was like a door,
When the door's-
open the
when
switch.
it's in use, not in use.
Right.
And I would say it's
So the
not
switch
in
is
use when the
open.
door is open. It's in use when it's closed.
Oh.
Because that's how electrical circuits work.
Science.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call, and thank you for complimenting me.
Yeah.
Thanks for the compliment. I got a compliment too.
So, all right, we'll wrap up here. Go listen to Anus.
No.
Check out the
Out of order.
Out of order. Yeah.
We
Well,
got Kurt coasting in Boston.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
cool. I felt so awkward doing that. I don't think I was.
No,
good at that.
dude, you were
you were
very
good.
good.
Okay.
You did exactly what
Okay.
you were supposed to be doing.
Good. I did. I texted Feitelberg afterwards because I totally choked introducing Nick. I was
cool with it.
I was like, I talked about Feitelberg, and I was like, how about this fucking guy who just decided to become a stand-up comedian and an actor like 12 years into our careers together, like fucking incredible, right? And now we got this next guy, he's even funnier. I meant it to be like, and the show's gonna keep going and be funny, and it's like he's funnier than this guy that just went.
Now that was out of the way.
Kirk will definitely be more a part of the show, I believe, though, than I was.
You did everything you needed to do. You're good.
I think Kirk will be, though, like more. Actually, I don't know. Sometimes Kirk is normal. Sometimes Kirk will be like, I don't know. That fucking sucked. Let's bring out this piece of shit who I hate.
What the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, it's a great show. I think. So Chicago's the last stop.
No, Boston.
Boston's the last stop as you listen to this. But I think there'll probably be another round, hopefully.
I think so.
Of tour.
This was like a proof of concept,
Yeah.
and I think it's shown to work.
I mean, it proved.
Yeah.
It proved it worked. So be ready for Out of Order coming to a town near you, and definitely go check it out. Subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you guys later this week. The Express brand is all about creating confidence. Clothes is about confidence. Putting on clothes and making yourself feel confident is the name of the game, and Express does that in every which way. You're comfortable physically, you're comfortable mentally, you look stylish, you're not breaking the bank, and you have every type of clothing covered. They got you on the casual front, they got you on the fancy front, they got you if you're going to work, if you're hanging out. Everything from Pima cotton t-shirts to the hyper stretch jeans to the 1MX button-ups to the modern tech suits. Now, these suits are wrinkle-resistant, machine washable. You can wear them again and again. It's an elevated look that's super easy. Be on the lookout for next episode you're going to want to watch on the YouTube because your boys are going to be decked out.
Might be looking a little spiffy.
So go to express.com today or go to a store and use promo code SADBOYSEASON, SADBOYSZN, to get an extra 20% off your purchase on things that are already affordable, comfortable, and stylish. That's Express, promo code SADBOYSEASON for an extra 20% off. All right, we are live, fresh off of the Ohio State vote. If you're listening to this by now, you know that the official word has come down. Tate goes back to Chicago. I was about to say Ohio. Back to Chicago, where he belongs after a very up and down, twisty, windy week where people went from one side to the other and back again. The final verdict is in. Go be on your merry way.
Yeah. I tweeted this in the middle of the show. I have kissed Pat on his mouth before.
You have kissed what?
Pat. I've walked into Out and About and I've kissed Pat on the mouth.
Yeah.
That's the gayest thing I've ever done here. That was crazy. Yeah. It just turned into like an actual therapy session. I was like, what the fuck are we doing now?
Tommy spit some bars, but it got very serious after Tommy, really laid it out there, like what's going on with the New York office. And then the whole time him doing it in an inmate suit.
I thought that was a Halloween thing. And when he first came out, I thought I was like, I almost rolled my eyes at it. And then I was like, oh, wait, never mind, it's Halloween. As if that made it better. Oh, no, never mind, he's just dressed up for Halloween. And then I realized it was like a Dave Prisoner thing. That was crazy. Dude, it was just everyone whining about fucking different things. Just like we always wanted to get together and whine.
That was crazy. The way he went at Dave was crazy.
I wouldn't have chosen that strategy.
I didn't even necessarily think about like the whining. I think there's a lot of valid like points to go around about just like
agreed.
You just let this guy like be a fucking dick to everybody, and then you have to decide his fate. But like 10 straight minutes of going at Dave was probably not a good idea.
It was
like Dave,
a no caller ID. I wonder who this is.
Dave has been kind of like letting on, like, oh, I don't this guy. I don't pay attention to him. He doesn't affect me. I think that's a little bit disingenuous because I think he bothers him, and this is what was the way he was going to stick it to him. But all of that is a lot of talking about Dave and at Dave. It's like
I was sitting next to Fran and like three separate times during his speech. We hit each other. Like she hit me right at her, and I was like, we're still doing this. Is an interesting angle to go with.
Crazy.
But I wrote this on my ballot. My ballot didn't get read. I think we could have ended this in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But like when he was, because I haven't put all that much thought into it. I knew I was going to vote him to go back to Chicago. And when he got there and he was talking about he's like, I was a character, I was a cartoon, I was blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, we've done this then. The precedent is set.
Yeah.
1 month internet troll shirt.
I was going to say,
done.
Like that's where, Frank had said 2 months probation. I had told Kelly, I really thought Kelly was going to do, I thought that was a good idea to do the 2 weeks where you make him grovel and do whatever you want. And then you get your pound of flesh, but you send him home. Because to me, that was the only way for New York to, not catch heat or ruin lunch or whatever the fuck you want to call it. If she said to him, you have 2 weeks and you have to reach 100%. I'm making up like this chart, and every time you do something nice or beg for forgiveness or get me lunch or show me that you're human, you get like 10 points. And if you have, and over the next 2 weeks, if you can do that 10 times, I will send you on your way. And if you can't, you have to stay here. And then you can make him squirm. At the end of the fucking 2 weeks, he's only got like 70% or something like that. And at the end, you'd be like, here's your 100 points. Now get the fuck out of my city. Go home. And you made him like sit on his knees and beg, and maybe hit him with the champagne. And you do all that stuff where it's like, there are consequences for your actions. You came in here, you fucked with people, we fuck with you back, and then you go home.
I think all of that is like fine in theory, and then once you start practicing, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't want to make this person grovel in front of me. Like, I hope that's what you think.
I think a lot of people did want that. I did. And also, but here, my main thing was, because he said he like in the last bit, he was like, he would not have begged. And I just found out he's 31. That blew my mind. That changed everything for me. I thought he was like 23, 24, like fresh out of school, has a girlfriend, but whatever. You're like a 31-year-old dude with, like, as I understand it, this woman who has a career, and she bought a house and then sold that house and bought a new house, and now is even slightly considering doing it a third time and like 1,000 miles difference. I cannot believe when that was occurring that he wasn't just like, I just got to go see you. I'm sorry. Like, at this point, I just got to go in there and be like, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? I'm assuming, at least if you're dating someone, you're 31, you want to marry them, you want to be with them, you're going to move in together, you're going to live together, all that shit. The fact that he wasn't just like, I'm going to get in like so much trouble or lose the love of my life or whatever the fuck, I'm sorry. Like, I thought when you're 23 and you're new and you can't take an L, and you want to keep your the Twitter audience happy, you don't want to like show any vulnerability. At like 31, usually there's some perspective where like by that point you're like, okay, this is not like, sorry, let's just move on from this.
Yeah, so 31 is great. Like 31, I think I was 31 the year before the pandemic. So that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, that was fucking. I was the same way. I thought he was like a kid. I thought he was which doesn't make sense because I knew he was a teacher, but I didn't.
I thought he was like a tenured teacher or a brand new teacher.
Yeah.
He's got to be like a tenured teacher, no? Like that is that really blew my mind. But he will do it. Like I think I said it. Like, you're gonna turn right around and be like, those pussies in New York couldn't even pull the trigger. He's not gonna do it tomorrow. He's not gonna do it next week. He's gonna do it.
Yeah,
totally.
I don't know.
Once the chips are back,
he is he's a true blue nut job. That's for sure. Like,
totally, bro. The whole like, I am a character thing. It's like,
when you start talking like that, when you start talking about like my character, like my world's got blended.
Yeah,
like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And especially when you're like, if like PFT said that to me, I'd be like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Nobody knows your blended world or your real world or your fake world.
I don't know anything.
I think just like I know you write about Ohio sports.
That kind of speaks to like what you said, where I think you were like, it was like we hired a commenter, which is what we did, obviously, which is fine, but like it's not great.
Yeah, I don't think it's fine. I think that was a bad hire.
Yeah, but
why did we hire again? What do you do?
Do not know.
What's that?
How did he get hired again?
I think it was him and Keith.
Well, he got a part-time job, I think, writing about Ohio sports.
Okay.
Don't know how that initially started.
That was Barstool Idol, which I forgot he was on. Which if I'd remembered that, then I probably would have known he was older. But I forgot he was on
Idol.
That.
He was the head. He was ahead of the pack by a mile.
Yeah.
And then they had to do like a stand-up routine, which was like it didn't have to be stand-up, but it was like a live and I think he quit like right away.
Yeah, he went home like 2 days, and Dave was like, "Fine, you can go home and write."
Yeah, it was.
That was the old office. That was a long. Like again, if I'd pieced it together.
Yeah, now
I
that
would
makes
have been
sense.
like, oh yeah, he is
older.
older.
Because, right. But it was like as soon as like you had to you couldn't hide behind a blog or whatever. He was like, I'm out. That's
why that's the troll shirt. Like this whole thing, we've had this whole thing.
Yeah,
we've done this. We've had this hearing, this trial. We know what the punishment is.
It's this.
Like this. As soon as he said that, I almost stood up. I was like, "Oh, troll shirt, we're done. Like, let's get the fuck out of here."
I still think we could have gone further with it. I think Kelly, like, it's obviously insane to make somebody get on their knees and beg, but like, just fucking do it, dude. Like, whatever. Then there's like a funny fucking picture of you out there, but like I don't know. It's got to be weird going home to your girlfriend after that and being like we're good. Like they didn't choose to blow this up, but like really not through any of his own design. Like I don't know. I was not swayed by him one
No,
bit.
I was voting Chicago.
I don't think anybody was like, oh wow, that was really heartfelt. I think it was just like, go home.
Yeah.
But had it gone a little more poorly, like when she said something about like making him grovel or beg, and he went like, I don't think I'll do that. And I was like, wow, like you're really opening the door for like if someone wanted to jump in there and be like, no, you have to do it right now, or like Kelly's like, I'll sway the whole room. I don't think he would have done it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think there's some. I think there's. I think that's an equally wrong situation. I think if you're making someone grovel in front of you, I think, literally no matter what situation, if you're like get on your knees and beg, you're a fucking sicko. Yeah. Like no matter, I don't care if you're a fucking Russia-Ukraine war stumbling upon some guy in the woods. If you're like get on your knees and beg, there's something twisted about you. Mm-hmm. So like I think if you're calling for it or doing it, it's just a fucking. I think that would have looked weird for everyone.
Yeah, but I kind of wish.
I agree with everything you just said. I wanted to say it.
Yeah, I think again, he said a couple times like something about like why like you guys are doing this to me, and it's like you just did it to us, and now you're getting consequences.
It was
so this is how it goes. Get on your fucking knees, man.
The Dave stuff was wild, but particularly you forget, I guess, with new people. Like, if you think Dave knows anything about your life,
that was crazy.
He's like, I know, I got receipts. If I believe Dave 100% in not everything, but yeah, no, honestly, like I basically believe Dave 100% on everything.
I'm sure Tate like sent a DM saying like my girlfriend's not happy. Whether Dave read that or remembers that, no fucking shot, dog. And that's again more back to what I was saying to him. Like, all of these things are because you've been here for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. I didn't think like it was going to really have the repercussions it did. Yeah, because you don't know yet. I could have told you that if you jump on, I don't care who you are or how new you are or how little you are, if you start to complain that people aren't working hard, that's going to be a fucking thing at Barstool, So all of these things that were like, yeah, well, I didn't know this or I didn't know that. It's like, yeah, because you're fucking new here. But the biggest thing, if you think, like the way that was like, I'm going to turn to him and talk now, it's like, your life is about to be real fucking shitty for a long time. Because I think he'll just like slowly, he will ruin your life. You know what I mean?
Dave.
Like just slowly.
It'll be like how I ruined the life of a plant I got, where I just keep forgetting to water. I forget it's there. I'm not trying to kill it. I'm just doing other things.
But it will happen. Yeah.
It's just not on my mind.
That was crazy to go at him that hard.
Yeah. I don't know what's crazier, to either think that Dave like cares about you enough to know anything about you, or like Dave doesn't have a fucking clue about anything about me. I've been here a long time. Dave doesn't have a clue. If you ask Dave what color my hair was, he'd be like, I don't know. Feitelberg? Hang? It's like, depends on the light.
I don't know Tate's last name.
I don't know. I don't think that's possible.
Oh, I guess I thought it was Tate.
Oh.
Just because it comes second in Ohio.
First name's Ohio's. Ohio's with a Z.
Yeah, I guess Tate is a first name, isn't it? I definitely thought it was his last name.
Tate Holmes?
Is that his name?
Tate Holmes sounds right. Tate Holmes.
That's because we just talked about Pete Holmes.
Maybe that's
why. And they're both just Midwestern-looking people.
No, that was fucking... But see, to me, that was either like... You either got to get weird with it and do some shit that I was talking about, or like don't even do this at all because I thought that was kind of a weird in between.
Yeah, it was. That was worst case scenario. For
That's why though when this happened, I said, do this this happened on a Monday. I said, do this vote on a Tuesday. Yeah. When people were hot. They were ripping. They were seeing red.
But even then, no, because then, honestly, I think on Tuesday, if I have my gossip in a row, I think Tuesday we would have voted to keep him. And 3 days later, we would have been like, oh, fucking
I know,
shit.
But yes. That's why I said, like, it probably in the long run would have been bad, but that is why I said let's do it because, like, I think it probably would have been better to vote him and then, like, let him off the hook or something like that.
Yeah.
This was just, like, kind of whatever.
But
in the moment,
also
people being like, you fucked with us. We fuck with you. Fuck you. I like that. I like that image for the New York office better than, like, put it this way. I as always with these things, and almost everything in my life, I always think, like, would the person extend the same grace towards me? And I don't think it would have been.
That's fair.
But that's where it's like, but I'm like, I'll be above it or the bigger person or whatever. And I'm not. I am thinking, like, knowing that girl is, I believe, a lawyer, like early 30s, has like probably busted her ass and has, you know, put a down payment on a house. Granted, I don't know, houses in Cleveland cost like $60,000 or whatever. But like to move twice and then it's like you're not even doing it, you know, for the fucking, it's not even about Tate. It's like you're doing it for their kids or something. You know what I mean? Like, do it for this poor girl who, for some reason, would follow Tate Holmes around the country. That's fucking crazy. Like, you do that for like a superstar or like someone you really believe in. Maybe she believes in him, but it's like, it's crazy to me.
I think this whole experiment is something I hope everybody remembers, where it's just like, in a week, no one's going to give a fuck.
Yeah. But
doesn't matter what it's about. It could be about the biggest story of the day, an ongoing story, a story that's been lasting for 6 months. In a week, no one's going to give a fuck.
I know, but you know what I think about that? Like, I think that's a little bit of a problem. Like, I know that happens to me all the time. Something happens, I'm seeing red, and by the time we get here, I'm like, I don't care. That doesn't really make for good content.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's true. But
like
it makes for the most reasonable content.
And we're at a point, I think, where it's more about like reasonable life than like content. But, you know, there's been many times where I'm like, by the time I get called onto Dave's show or we're doing our own thing, I'm literally like, all right, I'll do this for the clicks because I know it's a popular topic. But I do not feel the same adrenaline about it. I do not feel the same way about it. And that does not make for the best of content. So voting like while you're really mad or really feeling it probably would have been a more entertaining product. And then I think, you know, like what if you go back on it, the fans get like upset. Like, I don't know. It's like, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? But I still think that Frank said 2 months. That was crazy. I think 2 weeks would have been.
I thought Frank and Nate, I thought, were stars of the show.
Nate.
When Nate get up there with 2 speeches is unbelievable.
Nate being like, the podium's mine.
Yeah.
I'll take the podium.
No one else went to the podium. Yeah. Just
no one else stood up.
Everyone else sat.
No
in
one
their
else
seat.
stood up.
Nate was like, I'll take the spotlight if you don't mind.
He was kind of singing halfway through. Did you guys notice that? He had a little bit of rhythm in his speech.
Who?
Nate. I mean, you know, I am happy that somebody did say something like that. I think that I'm happy Tommy stood up for the New York office. Yeah. I think a lot of things like it's just the whole dynamic is like people don't understand it. Like Tate being like, I think I've done a lot of really good content here, and you know people just don't know it, and it's like.
Well, that's the definition. Like, that's everyone. That's what you're doing when you're grinding. Like,
right.
Most people are making content. You just don't like. I don't know what Tate's doing. I knew about the T-ball thing, but
even that. It was like I could piece together. Like I'm sure you threw a first pitch at every single level. Like, cool. You know, Marty played baseball against a professional athlete, and because of I think like he's one that suffered from the New York rhetoric. Where it's like nobody cares or nobody thinks it's good. So it's like, welcome to the fucking shitty part of this. It's like there are, people doing great content that if it came from somebody else or apparently came from a different city, people would like it. But it comes from here, so it doesn't. and you pile that on, and that sucks. And now like you are like, no, I'm more than a troll. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everybody has their other shit, but it's like these guys do golf, these guys do hockey, you do troll. Like that's it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've written some
like
heartfelt blog or some funny things. Nobody fucking cares. You know. There was one idea that came in at the very end. I don't know if you guys know it because it's from a member of Out of Order. Did you hear this idea?
I don't think so.
Nick's idea was, you know how apparently he has that lucky parking spot in Cleveland? So he made a video once where he was like, he parked at this parking spot in the Guardians parking lot. And the woman came out and was like, you can't do that. You got to park like on the end and like this is how it goes. And Tate was such a dick about it. He was like, lady, you're making a mistake. You're making a big mistake. Like filming it, being like, Barstool, you know, like my company's going to be mad about this. You're going to regret this. And she was kind of like.
Did he really do that?
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, you're making a big mistake, lady.
But and, I mean, like that, like referencing like, do I work for Barstool?
No, but I took that to mean like, what else would that mean? You get your camera out and you'd be like, you're making a big mistake, lady. Because he, I think it's a lucky parking spot, and the woman was kind of like, there's a system to this, and she was like, then take your money and go. You don't have to park here. And Nick was like, I don't even know how this particularly works, but apparently it's like assigned parking spots or some shit. And he was like, you need to go buy that parking spot for the year. And like when the first season comes up, when he goes to apparently every time he's gone to the game, he parks in that spot. They win every time. All that, and when he shows up and it's like, no, this has been purchased like through the entire year. But I don't know. I mean, I've never heard of a parking lot at a baseball game having assigned.
Yeah, I mean, I
seating,
guess like,
but like
in Boston, if you park at the Peru, like the Peru has like, I mean, there are places that have
park at like a garage that has
like if it's like also like an apartment complex or something like that, like
shared or whatever. So that would have been a funny way to do it, like without blood on your hands, you know. Because again, making somebody grovel and beg
Cleveland
is like
Indian or Cleveland Guardians. I want to make you go 0-162 this year.
So yeah, we can close the books on that. But that's what happens when you let a blogger become you let a commenter become a blogger.
I do hope he does other stuff.
I don't really. But that's because I don't care. You know, like I care about my people and what they do, and anybody who comes to me. Like that was the other thing that bothered me. My name like kept pseudo coming up, and I know this is not, like not about me, but like it came up enough where it was like Dave was like, well, like if Kevin said something or like people like KFC this, KFC that. It's like I tried that on a very literal level before Erica left. There was like a position, a job that opened up, and I was like, I will take that job. And then I tried to do it when Dave brought the company back, and I tried to do that where I was like, I'm not going to like run the office, but I'm going to like kind of spearhead the movement of these meetings. We did all those meetings, those idea meetings, and trying to do the videos. And then Dave, like very publicly on his show, was like, "That's not KFC. He's not that guy. I run the New York office." I was like, "I'm fucking done then."
Yeah,
like I'm not gonna be the jackass who shows up trying to do the job that I have publicly been said is not my job. Like I'm not gonna Dwight Schrute this shit and just be like, please, Dave, like let me, I'll be the assistant
in the office.
to the yeah. So like but at the same time, anybody who comes to me, I have always helped and always will. Like you never did. The people who do come, I help all the time. And
also like that whole.
So I care about those people, but like if he does, like I don't
but
know,
that whole narrative, well, not that narrative, but that was even when that was happening. That was insane. Like when it was like anyone in the situation that was happening here, like if it was Dave, if it was you, if it was anybody who was like, "Hey, leave this place alone," looks ridiculous.
So insane.
Like we're not fucking. They're not 12.
No, you can go do your thing.
Like,
yeah. I would never tell you not to do it.
Stop being mean to everybody. Like, who the fuck is gonna say
go
that?
ahead, be as mean as you want. And also people being like, it's not gonna last. It's like, I don't know that. I don't know. I've been wrong about the shit before. Maybe becoming a troll for Barstool. There's a huge audience of people that hate us. Maybe you'd be fine. I don't know. Go do your fucking thing. I'm not in the business of. If you come to me and ask me, I'll give you my opinion. I'll help you. But I'm not going to actively go out and be like, I don't think so. Do it.
Hey, you're being a little rude.
Yeah.
I'm like your fucking mom. And like that's crazy.
And they're never you know, the Dave thing is funny. It's like there will never be a. If Dave had said like, Dan is in Chicago, I am in Miami, Kevin is running the show in New York, John is the decision maker in New York. You go to. Nate with all of your questions. And then that was decreed. I still wouldn't be as natural, but it would be like, all right, that's how companies work. There's a boss who tells you, you report to this person, you report to this person, you report to that person. But if that's never going to happen and he's still like the one doing it, then it's like, I don't know, it's up to him.
I actually would vote. I would like Nate in charge. Which is funny that this whole thing is just putting Tate in charge.
but even
we end this whole thing with we'll just have Nate in charge. Tate, you are moving to New York, buddy, and you're growing you're shrinking about half a foot.
Yeah, Ohio's Nate. Ohio's Nate is the name. So we could close the books on that. But I do think 6 months down the line, somebody will be fighting, and it'll be like, New York pussies didn't even have the balls to pull the trigger on me. That'll happen.
Yeah, maybe
that's where I was like, if I thought for 1 second that you were actually, to borrow a word from Frank, who said it 1,000 times, if there was any contrition, showed any sort of contrition.
That's funny because Dave was throwing around the word sociopath. I strongly disagree with that word because if it was a sociopath, I would have believed him. Sociopaths.
I didn't believe it.
You don't believe it for a second. You're like, all right, this is enough.
That was a bad apology.
Sociopaths are like good at convincing you they're sorry, or and also I don't know if we can get into I don't think he has to be sorry for anything. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
You act like a dickhead. I don't know.
Right. You don't have to
I'm so sorry.
Right. You don't have to cry. But that's where I think it would have been funny to just get on your knees. I don't think he literally couldn't do it. That's where it's like, well, then I don't think you do really care enough about your home situation or whatever. It's like, yeah, there'll be some memes of you sucking a guy's dick because you put yourself on your knees on the internet. And in return, you will go home and stay in this house that your girlfriend bought or whatever. That doesn't seem that crazy to me, but I really don't think he would have done it. When Kelly said that, he was like, I don't think so. And he was like, I think this will look bad for you. And it's like, who fucking cares? You worry about your goddamn self. But yeah, he'll say something. He will say something. When the time is right, when it's died down, he'll say something.
Think so?
Yeah. Totally.
I kind of hope so. Tate of Fate of Tate Part 2.
Of Tate. Fucking Roan. Jesus Christ. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.